Welcome to bonus episode 9 of Review Rewind Star Wars Summer. This is the podcast where two friends watch movies of old and ask, were they good? I'm Mike.
And I'm Joseph.
And ending our journey, we're talking about Star Wars episode IX, the Rise of Skywalker. Star Wars episode 9, the Rise of Skywalker.
The Rise of Skywalker.
The objectively the dumbest name in the entire series.
That should be its own conversation, too.
Why did they go with that?
I don't know what the name means.
Oh, that's a great point. What
does it mean?
So, I was thinking about that. When I first watched the movie, I fell into the fan drama or the fandom, and I was so stoked when I saw it. And when Rey, spoilers, at the end of the movie, we land back on Tatooine,
yep.
And an old woman of some sort. I think it was a woman.
Yeah. Walking her camel.
She's walking by the Skywalker Ranch, which one was odd because you can see everything. There's nothing there. There's no road.
Right.
And
where's she going?
Yeah, exactly. And she's like, basically, who are you? And Rey takes that moment and gets Jedi Ghost by
Luke and Leia.
And she's like, Skywalker. And
Rey Skywalker.
And the first time I was super excited. But then the second time and third time and possibly fourth time, I really hated it.
Yeah.
And this time I actually here's where I sit. I'm fine with it. I think the ultimate goal should have been that.
Mm-hmm.
But how they got there failed.
Sure.
And so I think everything was getting to that point, and that's how it should have been. And so they ended it the way it should have been, but they had so many missteps that it doesn't really make sense.
Sure.
But it does.
Sure.
It's this weird thing. And I'm sure we'll talk about this later.
Yeah. We have
But
so
I actually
much.
think this movie confirms what I was saying in the previous podcast where Rey is the chosen one. And I think this movie confirms that. And I will talk about in what way that does. And I think those confirmations justify the end. But they also did it in such a way that was so convoluted and confusing that, like, you get to the end and you're like, wait,
what?
How?
Yeah. 100%.
And the answers are there, but they do it in such a way. It's almost like J.J. Abrams was like, they'll know. they'll know. And then everyone's like, no, I don't get any of it. Okay. All right. So when we get into the details, also we wanted to preface that this is a family event. We are finally recording together in the same room, but my kids are here and our families are here, and so you're gonna hear banging and little kids talking and conversations.
Yeah,
but
ignore the background noise.
We'll get through it. These mics sound great. I don't know.
The mic sounds amazing.
Yeah, so it'll be fine. So, Joseph, why don't you give us our details?
Let's do that. So, as always here, rating is PG-13. The genre is sci-fi, adventure, action, and fantasy. Directed by J.J. Abrams, going back to the director of Episode 7. It is written by Chris Terrio and J.J. Abrams. It was released December 20th in 2019, coming up on the third birthday. The runtime is 2 hours and 22 minutes, and of course, it's distributed by Walt Disney.
So, you know, why do they keep giving these people jobs? I don't know why I'm so mad. We're gonna get on another tangent here.
Oh my gosh!
But I looked up Chris Terrio.
Okay, yeah, Terrio, I think.
Terrio, is it Terrio?
I don't know.
And he does not have a good resume.
Really?
So we'll give him this. Argo.
Okay.
Nominated, but
Cool.
based on true stories. So had good source material to work off of.
Okay.
Next credit, Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
Oh.
Which that movie is bad.
No, thank you.
He also has the screenplay credit for Justice League.
Okay.
And then Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
How did they pick this guy?
I don't know.
No offense. Sure
writing a movie is very hard.
He for Argo, he won the Academy Award, by the way.
Okay, I wasn't sure about that, but my other complaint is I'm pretty sure Ben Affleck's character is supposed to be like Mexican American, and it's Ben Affleck, so bad. But
yeah,
well, I guess there's your connection there. So Argo, Ben Affleck's tied to Batman. Signed that contract, so probably got an in for screenwriting.
Sure.
I think Zack Snyder and J.J. Abrams, I think they're close, or maybe production companies.
Maybe
something. Because like Disney and Warner Brothers aren't close, so I don't know what would. It has to be that connection.
Yeah,
because that is a small, like his credits are tiny.
Yeah, I don't know.
Lego Star Wars, the video game.
Okay,
he did the. Oh no, it just says the film screenplay. So it must have been because they essentially go through the movies in the game.
Yes.
So I'm assuming that's
that makes
so
sense.
he didn't write the game, so he doesn't get that.
They just credit
positive
all of the writers,
right?
Gotcha.
Because did you play that game?
Yeah, the Skywalker,
and it was great,
the Lego
right?
Skywalker saga.
It was fun.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
huge.
He didn't do that.
He didn't write all of that.
No, he didn't do that.
He wrote the Episode 9 stuff,
right?
That the game then just adapted into tiny plastic squares.
The best version, I guess.
The best adaptation.
So, man, hi Ray. Can you calm down? Thanks. So that's staying in. And so I don't okay, we are putting the carriage before the horse on this one.
Yes.
But here's the plot. When it's discovered that the evil Emperor Palpatine, dang it, I'm already angry at the plot, did not die at the hands of the death of Darth Vader, the rebels must race against the clock to find out his whereabouts. Finn and Poe lead the resistance to put a stop to the First Order's plans to form a new empire, which, that plotline, fine.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
While Rey anticipates her inevitable confrontation to Kylo Ren. Good. Yes. That we've been building that for 2 movies.
Yep. I love the last
line. Warning, some flashing light scenes in the film may cause photosensitive viewers. May affect photosensitive. I didn't realize
that in the synopsis. Flashing lights may affect photosensitive viewers.
That is the most accurate and the most positive view of the whole film, is that warning of like, this is going to cause some problems.
The best thing we can say about the movie.
That is a plot. The movie sets itself up in such a way that you can't really do a plot synopsis not like that. Because Palpatine is reintroduced within the first
He's
5 minutes
introduced in like the rolling words at the beginning, the yellow words that float through space. The dead speak. Emperor Palpatine has returned, or whatever.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh, that's in my notes. Trust me.
What? Bad writing. That's bad writing.
Yeah.
There's no reason to believe that.
Yeah.
There's no reason. And then you get to the movie and, oh, by the way,
yeah,
Emperor Palpatine is still alive.
Oh, but yeah.
There's no setup for that.
There's no setup.
There's been nothing.
At all. No.
It's bonkers.
We'll talk about that. Yeah, I've got many notes on that, on such topics.
Joseph,
yes.
What did you think of the movie overall?
Okay. Let me preface this as we preface that we're recording with our families around. If there's extra noise, etc. A couple of prefaces.
Prefaces. I have no clue, honestly.
Prefaces. Couple things. First of all, number one, the note. I've said this, I think, for each of the last maybe 5 episodes we've recorded. My notes for this movie are the longest of any movie that we have written. Just before we started recording, my wife asked, how many notes do you have, Joseph? And I dropped my notes into a Pages file, put font size to 12, and did single space, and it was 26 pages. So
this is his master's thesis.
This is a master's. I'm literally in a graduate program right now, and this is all.
You're going to turn this in.
I'm going to turn this in and see what I get. So anyway, so much to say as always. Pardon if this is just a hideously long episode. Okay, next preface. It's going to be challenging to break down this movie because I want my thoughts to feel organized. This feels like a particularly difficult movie to keep organized thoughts about.
That's
preface number 2. Preface number 3, there is, I think, a huge amount of negativity around this movie, particularly online. I think you may have even alluded to that a few minutes ago. When this movie came out, it was quite panned by fans and by critics alike. We'll talk about that at the end when we get to the reviews. Basically, I just want to say, I don't want to mimic the kinds of, cheap criticisms that would characterize, an angry internet, troll. So these criticisms mostly derive from people thinking...
I think we can say right off the bat, our criticism has nothing to do that the main character is a woman, one.
Not at all. No.
2, that the main characters, we have a woman, we have... a space cowboy who is Latino in origin.
Yeah.
We have a black stormtrooper, which, gosh, I had forgotten. I don't even know if we talked about this. How racist the impact of him being John Boyega as when the preview came and he popped up in there, how much backlash from
oh man,
it's crazy.
Gnarly.
So we're not going to be that.
We're not going to
because we don't care. And Adam Driver, just a weird looking dude. So I don't know.
Yeah. Basically, what I'm trying to say is I think most of the critiques around the movie that you'd find online have to do with the movie didn't do what the person thought that it should do, which okay,
it wasn't the right fan service.
Or I've heard this a lot too, that this isn't what Star Wars has been about. And I think that that's a really cheap and dumb critique because Star Wars has always changed itself, and that's not really been a problem, right? New installments bring new themes and new characters.
But I also think it's wrong.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's objectively wrong.
Yeah.
This is not my favorite Star Wars by any means. I have a lot of issues with it. I think we're going to pinpoint how this is still a Star Wars movie.
Totally.
So yeah, that's a bad critique.
Yeah.
I think our critiques are going to focus a lot on things that got confusing for no reason.
Yes.
Things that didn't flow in the scope of story, and just bringing things back that shouldn't have been brought back.
Yeah. So let's get into this. The my actual overall thoughts on the movie. As always, it includes some of my own history with the movie in particular. So by the time episode 8 had been released in 2017. I was by that time like fully immersed in the Star Wars universe. After we talked, a couple episodes ago, episode 7 really brought me into like deep fandom.
Well, and then
Yeah.
to top that off, we had already had a friendship.
That's right.
To the point where when I think you saw it
Opening night,
and I saw it maybe 2 days after, and we had like made a pact to say like, don't talk about it.
Yes, that's right.
Until all of us see it, and we
That's
had
right.
another friend, James, involved in that.
Yeah.
And we all forced ourselves to watch it as quickly as possible.
That's right. That's right. So, by the time episode 8 came out, I was caught up on Clone Wars and Rebels, and my hype was basically just like as high as it could have been. I think I was more hyped for episode 9 than I was for maybe any other movie in my life at that point.
And I think so, because recalling back in that time, you had a really like just straight positive perspective on The Last Jedi.
I loved it.
We had not gotten to the point of like really reflecting on it.
Yeah.
So you know, we were all on that high of it.
Yeah.
And so
well, let me put it this way. How high I was on it was like, I remember at Star Wars, they had Star Wars Celebration, which is like the conference thing where they debuted the first teaser for episode 9.
Right.
And that was in like, it was in like April or May, sometime in the springtime 2019.
Yeah, like 8 to 9 months prior to the film release.
Yeah, and I remember I literally was at work. I was at our old school in the break room, like live streaming that thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I remember they dropped the trailer, and I was just going nuts and like showing other teachers in the break room and stuff. And then the rest of that day, like in class, I like started the rest of my classes off by like, let's watch the new teaser for the new Star Wars. Like, so like I was in it, right? So,
you were definitely in it.
So lead up to the movie's release, I will admit I set my expectations extremely high, and this is actually contrary to the advice of like friends of mine. Like maybe you, certainly James had told me like, get your hopes up. You know, something's going to let you down, and then you're going to be disappointed. But I was convinced. That episode 9 was going to be great. I was convinced, like on one hand, J.J. Abrams had done such a great job with episode 7, that I figured he was going to do a great job with 9 as well. I loved the feeling that episode 7 gave off. We talked about this, the world building and the care and craftsmanship that went into it. I thought they would do that again. And then number 2, I trusted, I think, call them like producers or like executives at Disney, that they would not let Star Wars be bad. Like it was too important.
But I also think, to add on to that, I think there is that perspective of like Disney and what they've done with Marvel.
That's
and
the
Kevin
comparison,
Feige like owning that.
Yeah,
like he really does.
Sure.
We can indirectly or directly attribute the success of the Marvel Cinematic Universe to him and his team.
Yeah.
And I know that they have the basic thing with Star Wars, but under that, I think there's that expectation. But like, maybe it's my own naivete that like,
sure.
I don't know who that person is.
Right.
I've heard their name, but I don't know who they are.
Sure.
But
yeah,
I don't think it's the same with Star Wars. Even though I think Star Wars is a more not viable, but more.
Star Wars was a saga, generations in the running. I mean, Marvel obviously goes back generations as well, but even in theaters,
visually,
like literally
in
movies,
the cinematic scope.
And I was like, okay, Marvel earlier in 2019 had landed the plane with Avengers Endgame. It was great, and
that movie is great.
It's amazing. And I figured, look, it's the same. They're both owned by the same folks. Like they're gonna make sure the same thing happens with Star Wars. So like they couldn't possibly let this be bad, right? So like all this to say, this is my overall thoughts finally, right? Episode 9 was and remains a profound disappointment.
Yeah.
It is.
I wish we could put
yeah.
that in a star rating.
Yeah.
Just like subtitled "Profound Disappointment."
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's the fairest thing we're gonna say.
It is. It's flashy. It's exciting. There's a lot of wild stuff happening. It's fun to watch, even honestly.
It is visually stunning. Still, still has some of the best visuals.
It's true.
They up the game again.
Yeah,
and some of the scenes, some of the worlds are the most awe-inspiring of all Star Wars.
Yeah,
it just feels like that's all it is.
You have to. Here's the thing. You have to turn your brain off when you're watching this movie. You can't think too deeply about what's going on or why.
But I also think it's not even just because if you follow point A to point B to point C to point D, you're going to see it doesn't make sense. It's that movie in particular goes like point A to point G to point Y to point F to point B, and then they go, hey, what happened in M?
Sure.
And you're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So you just kind of have to just watch it.
It's like this is off the top of my head, but it's almost like, it's not like the term busy work comes to my mind is like there's no thought put into it, but you're just kind of like occupied with
that's interesting
mindless, for both teachers. This is pedagogic speaking.
But I think there has some validity. I think I don't know if I talked about it with you. I've definitely talked about it on the podcast about someone was talking about Zack Snyder.
Yeah.
And that he is a director who directs moments, not stories.
Yeah.
This feels like that.
Yeah.
There are lots of moments.
Yeah.
But the story surrounding it doesn't make any sense.
And interlinking those moments.
Yeah.
Nothing.
There are fantastic moments.
Yeah.
Some of the best moments. No connection.
Yeah.
There's no continuity.
Such a great way to put it. Right. I find the movie has, this is maybe even a more damning thing to say about it, but I feel like the movie has no heart or soul, especially regarding the rest of the saga that came before it. That's going to be one of my biggest criticisms when we get to that part of the podcast too.
We can go into that more. I agree and I disagree. I think all the heart and soul gets covered up by the lack thereof.
Yeah. Yep.
Because I think there's a lot that is really important and connects to the past really well.
Mm-hmm.
But it's so convoluted and so covered with other stuff that you lose sight of it.
That's right.
And it feels like it's not happening.
Yeah. So I would say Rise of Skywalker feels rushed. It feels chaotic. It actually, I would say, feels improvised in a way that no other Star Wars movie, ever was or really ever should be. And and if inside sources are to be believed, it's in fact the reality that production of Episode 9 was itself rushed as well. There's rumors that changes were made to the story seemingly on a whim, including major decisions such as what the fate of Ben is going to be at the end of the movie, or whether Rey's parentage, who she comes from, basically. That those decisions were made sort of offhandedly or kind of randomly, with very little oversight or with little regard for the history of the saga. And I think that that's the kind of stuff that shows as you're watching this movie.
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's all. I don't disagree with any of that.
And so finally, and we've alluded to this in previous episodes, when you asked with episodes 7 and 8, what's the least favorite part of the movies, I had the same answer for 7 and 8. And the answer is that what episode 9 ends up retroactively doing to that story. I think that's the most treacherous offense of episode 9, is it just completely strips previous Star Wars movies of so much of their meaning
Yeah.
And their significance, their beauty, right? It fumbles, I would say it fumbles the momentum that it was handed from episode 7 and 8 with their own faults. Of course, none of those movies were perfect, but it fails to capitalize on anything valuable that's established in the sequel trilogy. That's for sure. As a result, I would say this, it taints the entire sequel era. It taints, in some ways, I think, the Disney era of the franchise. And for me, it casts doubts on what the future of Star Wars looks like. Because if there's ever to be an episode 10 or whatever, if there's a future of these characters in any context, it has to put up with what episode 9 did to them. And I think we could look back in 10 years and we find that maybe the legacy of the Rise of Skywalker is if you think about this, right? It's possible that years from now, the legacy of the Rise of Skywalker is that it is the Star Wars movie most responsible for forcing this universe to prioritize making TV shows that stream on Disney Plus rather than more big box office, blockbusters.
I'm not going to give it that much credit.
No, that's not credit. That's negative.
No.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, in that scope, I think the pandemic did a lot of that.
Sure.
But I do think that the downfall of this movie, that it was such a disappointment.
Yeah.
Made that decision easier.
Yeah.
I think it was an inevitable one because of the pandemic.
Yeah.
But I think them looking back and going like, all right, let's look at our last Star Wars movie, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
They're going to go, maybe. So I do think, was that the last Star Wars movie?
Mm-hmm.
What's the next one?
There's none on the docket right now.
That's bonkers.
Yeah. They have.
It was supposed to be Rogue Squadron, but that got cut.
Rogue Squadron got canceled. There was a Taika Waititi Star Wars that is
which would have been
undefined. Yeah,
the best.
Right. They have announced a lot of additional Star Wars movie projects. There's going to be like a trilogy from Rian Johnson that they announced once upon a time. There was going to be a trilogy from the guys that did Game of Thrones that they announced.
Did that all get canned?
It's
just lost in the ether?
It's in the ether, yeah. So the optimistic side of this, though, is maybe the legacy of the Rise of Skywalker can be that it forces them in the future to like really double down on quality. Maybe, hopefully.
Which still could actually be a bad thing.
Sure. Yeah.
Because they're like, well, it can't be this. And it's
Right.
like, no, but it did have good things.
Yeah.
We just need to focus on those good things.
That's right.
Yeah. I think outside of my,
of course,
let's bring in the pandemic as
Sure.
as a factor in this. I think that's all true.
Yeah.
I don't disagree with anything.
Mhm.
I think was that it for your overview?
Yeah, so I have one more addendum before we get to the positives, just sort of like factually about the movie. But tell me what you think about the movie overall.
I agree with everything you were saying. I do think rushed. When you said improvised, man, that made a lot of sense.
Yep.
That made a whole lot of sense. I think this movie was that's how I felt about the movie.
If you can't hear, audience, there's a baby crying in the next room.
I think that this was like the worst last project for John Williams.
Oh gosh,
I feel so bad for him.
We'll talk to him
because some of the music.
We'll talk about him later.
Because I know that a lot of the music that was done, they were like, we want it to sound like this.
Yeah,
and the only reason I know that is because I know John Williams' music.
Yeah,
and there are so many things that are like, this feels weird.
Yeah,
I think in some ways, like, this is a weird way of putting it. It was like spiteful to The Last Jedi.
Oh, we'll talk all about that too. Like I
But
said,
like
26 pages of notes.
it like if anything, The Last Jedi set up this next movie.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe against Rian Johnson's will.
Sure.
And original vision, because even within The Last Jedi, there was a lot of what's it called when they change the lore in the end from what happened before,
like retconning, retroactive continuity.
Yeah, the movie retconned itself.
Yes,
like The Last Jedi retconned itself, and then this
movie
like retconned the retcon.
Yes.
And then retcons all the positive things in The Last Jedi.
Yep. Yes.
And it's just like, why?
What's going on here?
Why?
Yeah.
Like, that was upsetting.
Yeah.
I still... Hi.
Hey, Mila.
I still like Rey. This didn't make me dislike her in any way.
Agree.
Ultimately, from her introduction to her end in this story and possibly forevermore.
Sure.
I agree. Like, how do I feel about the movie overall? I agree with that choice.
Yeah.
But that road to get there, it sucks.
A mess.
Oh gosh. Yeah. There are moments.
Yeah.
There are moments that I love.
Mm-hmm.
There are moments that are 2 movies too late.
Yep.
There are moments that should have happened in episode 7 and episode 8. And I guess my complaint or fan anger from that is this is such a business deal problem. Look, if you wanted this continuity to happen, have JJ do all 3.
Yep.
If he can't, have someone else do all 3.
Yep.
Figure that out. We have the Russo brothers who took over for Captain America, proved themselves, and then took over for the Avengers.
Yep.
We had proof.
Yep.
Proof happened. The first one, 7. J.J. Abrams, while he did like a point for point of A New Hope,
sure,
it was fun. It looked great. It was fine. It was a decent movie.
Yep.
Then we go to someone else who is much riskier. And not riskier because Rian Johnson is a bad director or a bad writer,
no.
but because Rian Johnson is willing to take a risk.
He's gonna see what happens. He's gonna push buttons.
Knives Out is honestly like a very risky movie because it is so detailed.
Yeah.
And you can't slip up on something like that. So I can't muster the idea or like be okay with the idea that like he's a bad writer or bad director.
No.
That a lot of people said.
Sure.
And so that's where I'm like, The Last Jedi has so much good in it, but there's clearly some interference happening, and the end of the movie retcons the whole movie. Yeah. So, there's that. But and now moving to 8, it has moments. J.J. Abrams, whatever your opinion of him, he makes movies that people like.
Yeah.
We can say that.
Yep.
The people who are bad directors, we can say they don't make movies that people like.
Right.
But J.J. Abrams has made movies that people like.
Yeah.
This is not it.
Not it.
And I don't understand. And it's because instead of writing a movie that he cares about the characters or whatever, he's trying to go, okay, how do we squeeze this into this space? He's trying to squeeze a square into a circle hole. Yeah. Like, it doesn't work.
Right.
It doesn't work. And so I guess overall it is, watching it again, I didn't hate it as much as I remembered hating it.
Sure.
Because there are a lot of moments in it that I really love. But everything piled up around it, is just bad.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, it's not great.
Yeah,
so
for sure. One last addendum before we get to the positives, and just like still consider this part of the introduction and stuff, but something that we should just mention about this movie. There's not really a perfect segment for this, but this is a movie that was originally meant to be directed by Colin Trevorrow. Colin Trevorrow is another famous director. He was originally announced, by the way, when Disney announced the sequel trilogy. You were just talking about this. They ended up actually announcing all three directors at once.
Right. They
said it was going to be J.J. Abrams and then Rian Johnson and then Colin Trevorrow, and like that was going to be the sequel trilogy. Now that main draft for Episode 9 was completed at some point in 2018, and at the point where it was essentially getting ready to go into pre-production, Lucasfilm axed it and completely threw it out. They fired Colin Trevorrow, and they very quickly hired J.J. Abrams to pick up Episode 9 once again, and essentially to rebuild the movie from the ground up. And this forced Episode 9 to take place entirely within a tightened production schedule, because Disney was not going to miss that December 20th, 2019 release date. 2 years apart for each of these movies. They're not going to skip it. So with that in mind, we talked as we're preparing, even before we pressed record here, we're talking about how we wanted to handle this fact. What's funny is that the script for Colin Trevorrow's Episode 9 leaked.
Boom.
And it's out there. You can go look it up. And I got it. Mike, you've never looked at it.
I have not looked at it.
And I have. And I've got it all written out in a summary for you.
That's why it's 26 pages.
That's why this episode's going to be so long. But what we're going to do, just for the sake of this podcast, this is more like programming notes for the moment. What we're going to do is we're going to do a whole normal episode on the Rise of Skywalker, the Episode 9 that we got. We're going to do positives, negatives, favorite character, ratings, all this kind of stuff. Then at the end, we have this little appendix, and we're going to talk about that Episode 9 from Colin Trevorrow.
I can't believe that they did it in that manner.
Right.
That's bonkers.
It's crazy. Basically what happened is because you've got three different directors making three different movies that all have to release 2 years apart from each other, they really, you think about it, they couldn't start writing their movies until the previous one was written basically almost complete.
Yeah.
And so in that sense, Colin Trevorrow is waiting for Rian Johnson to finish The Last Jedi. Obviously, they get, the script early, and they're not waiting for the release day, but that alone tightens the schedule. And then you've got to write an entire 100 and something page script, and that takes a couple months. Yeah. So they're like, everything is time crunched, and so for them to pull the plug and to press reset literally gave J.J. Abrams and what was his name, Chris Terrio, a couple of months to like really wrap up an entire story and start filming it almost as soon as they could.
My God.
That has so much.
I just had a realization.
Yeah. What's that?
I never thought I would say this. And this is no. This isn't like a bash on Disney or even the executives who are running Lucasfilm and all that stuff. But the thing they were missing was George Lucas, or someone who was functioning to the extent that George Lucas was, because the thing that held the three original trilogies together was the fact that George Lucas, even though...
Two original trilogies.
No. The original trilogy.
Oh, the three movies.
The three movies.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. Because the reason I'm pointing them specifically, not the prequels, them specifically, is because George took a back seat on the final two, but he was still thoroughly involved.
Absolutely.
He would still approve everything. He would still go about that. Who is that?
Yeah. No one's doing that in the sequel
No
trilogy.
one is doing that. And maybe that's the Kevin Feige conversation because I'm sure when, going back that far, when Winter Soldier was like, hey, we're going to switch, we're going to go through the storyline that, S.H.I.E.L.D. is Hydra, spoilers.
Yeah.
And, I'm sure he was like, good, go. Don't forget these things.
All part of this master plan.
Right.
Yeah.
And we have these 3 new trilogies with 3 different writers, which I guess at that point, fine. Sure. As long as you have an anchor.
Yeah.
There's no anchor. There's
here.
no anchor.
Yeah.
And that shows tremendously. Yeah. Maybe that Torino, I'm going to say his name wrong because I don't like his writing.
Chris Terrio.
Chili Peppers. I don't know. He writes fast, which might be a problem too. Because Batman v Superman is long and bloated, and characters don't make sense and all that. And then Justice League, especially the original Zack Snyder, the intention is the same way. So maybe it's just maybe he's a prolific writer.
Yeah.
He can write a lot of story real quick. And maybe they were like, it might not make 100% sense, but we'll get something done.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who knows?
But that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Now that, you bringing that up, like that, I
think you feel, as you're watching the movie, you feel, like I said, that improvisation, you feel the rushed nature of the movie.
Yeah.
Gosh. It's the opposite. It's totally the opposite of episode 7 because they had 4 years to build that
and
movie.
It was great pacing.
Yeah.
It was solid pacing.
Yeah. Absolutely.
All right.
So anyway, that's the addendum. Duel of the Fates is the name of Colin Trevorrow's version of episode 9. We will talk about it at the end of this episode.
Ooh. What'd you like about the movie?
Yeah. Things that I like about Rise of Skywalker. Surprisingly, a lot of things. Given the introduction and all the, still a lot of cool stuff going on here. I think the movie's action-packed. It's a lot of fun to watch. Very visual. Again, not everything makes sense necessarily, but things are fun.
Yeah.
Things are visually beautiful. The CGI is great.
I was going to say, I meant to say this in the overall, and maybe this is kind of the Rise of Skywalker is the stereotypical Barbie girl or muscle guy. And what I mean by that is they're really quote unquote, and I'm saying this by the stereotype.
Sure.
I don't feel this.
Okay.
I'd rather stare at a wall. But they're great to look at, but when you get into the deep down about it, there's nothing substantial there.
That's right.
And I'm, fulfilling that stereotype. This movie is tremendous to look at.
Yes.
But if you go and ask them what they're about, they're probably not going to give you a good answer.
That's right. Yeah. So action-packed. I think the CGI is great. It looks beautiful. You mentioned that earlier. I think the scenes, the sets, the effects, everything else is cool.
So we have talked about how we watched the Obi-Wan show. And while I try to keep it strict on we're in the cinematic universe, that falls under the continuity and all that stuff. Oh no, I'm blanking. What's the building that's in the water? Is that it's a ship, isn't it?
The building in Obi-Wan?
No, because I'm thinking, does Vader's lair ever come up in the new trilogy?
We'll talk about this. I don't think you know. We'll talk about this.
Is it supposed to?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Because my brain keeps...
I'm so excited because 15 minutes from now, your brain's going to be blown.
Probably.
But
also, I'm going to have pizza, so that's going to be
You're talking
great.
of about Mustafar and Vader's castle? And
Is that a castle?
The lava planet?
No.
Okay.
No.
What are you talking about?
So in
Obi-Wan.
in Obi-Wan, when he has to go to that Imperial base
to
retrieve
Inquisitorius.
Is that what it is?
That's the base.
big black square
sticking
thing
out of the ocean.
So there was a bit where, like, when I saw that, I was like, "Is that the same thing?" But now I'm realizing that was just a ship that had.
No, that's a base. That's not a ship.
No. Sorry.
Okay.
In the Rise of Skywalker, when Rey and Ben have their first big duel, when she's trying to retrieve the map, and she finds it.
Yeah.
What's that thing she's on? Isn't it a ship? A giant ship? Isn't it a Star Destroyer?
It's like when she's in like the chamber. His
no.
like. Dude, I'm so lost.
No, it's okay. So
they fight on the Death Star.
Finn, Poe, and Rey are looking for the map.
Okay.
And so they land on that planet, and
with the Death Star or not the Death?
Is that the Death Star?
They're fighting in the Death Star.
No, not that.
Like the throne room?
In Rise of Skywalker?
Yeah. They go to the throne room, like Palpatine's
Oh, then it is the
room.
Death Star.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry for the confusion, everyone.
Yeah.
Gosh, there's so many good sets that just get confused and don't get utilized.
Show you a picture just to confirm.
Okay. Yeah. So the reason I bring that up is because I thought that would have been a great tie-in for them to do.
Yeah.
But
this part. See my laptop here, the top right.
Yeah,
that is literally.
And then they leave and they end up on the outside area where the waves are crashing.
Yeah. That's literally Emperor Palpatine's throne.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Yeah. So that's where I'm thinking. So it was just the crashed Death Star.
It's the crashed Death Star. Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
did you notice that was the Death Star?
I guess.
Like in the grand scheme of the movie?
I probably did.
Okay.
We need that. A big deal. We need that Inquisitor building back.
Yeah, Inquisitorius, Fortress Inquisitorius.
It's a bad name, but we really need it. We really need it back.
Amazing.
That was such a bad. Sorry, everyone.
Have you watched the movie, Mike?
I think I did. Yeah. Maybe I watched Rugrats in Paris. I'm not sure.
Maybe I get them confused all the time. Yeah. Another thing I love about the movie, all the main characters are pretty much together the whole time.
Yeah, that was a nice.
Their chemistry's great.
Yeah,
like especially the main three, Rey, Finn, and Poe. It's funny, but Rey and Poe don't actually meet until the very end of episode 8.
And they have the same relationship that Han and Leia have in the first one.
Ah, interesting.
Like, there's this weird tension of, like, we have to work together.
Yep.
I understand that you do your thing. I do my thing.
Yep.
You're also a pain in my neck.
Yep. That's totally true. Another thing I like about episode 9, this is kind of, it's not, like, the result isn't perfect, but there's a good reason for it. I think that they made the most of what they could with Leia.
That's the thing I will give them the most grace for, because just the circumstance and, rest her soul, having, died.
Think about this. Carrie Fisher passed away a year before episode 8 came out.
Yeah.
So it was 3 years before episode 9 came out. She could not have been a part of any of the production of episode 9,
right?
Let alone the fact that they scrapped it and started over.
And they did a good job.
It was great.
With her, because
what they could use. Yeah.
I think Krista and I had a moment where we were like, did she die during this production or during Last Jedi? Because there were a few moments where I just couldn't tell.
She died during post-production on The Last Jedi.
Right, but I mean, like, there were points where I couldn't tell that it was just like CGI.
Yeah. So what they did is they took footage they had of her from episodes 7 and 8 that they didn't use, and they CGI'd, like, her head and her voice, of course, and then put it onto like an actress's costume and body and movement. And stuff.
I thought they did a pretty decent job.
It's
like
great
of
what they could do.
Those kind of things. It's one of the best that has happened.
Yeah, for sure. And it does mean they only had 10 or 15 shots of her that they could use. So as a result, of course, she is saying pretty specific and sort of disconnected lines, and so the dialogue in her scenes is pretty. It feels pretty railroady. That Ray or whoever says something really weird and specific, so that what Leia says fits somewhat.
Yeah.
It is clunky, but the fact is that they made it happen. There could not have been an episode 9 without Leia. Like, that would have been even worse.
And what was nice is I'm pretty sure one of the Resistance soldiers is her daughter, and she had a bigger role too.
Billy Lord, yeah.
So like, I feel like that's sweet. I don't know if that like makes up for it in any way, but like I feel like there is a connection there.
We talked about this, I think, in one of the episodes, but at Lucasfilm, they've talked about how the sequel trilogy was designed to be each of the 3 movies to like focus on one of the legacy characters. And Han was episode 7, Luke was episode 8. Episode 9 was gonna be like Leia's time to shine.
And you can see how much that's missing.
Yeah. And to their credit, how much they were still able to salvage and make a lot of that work, especially the scene. I'll just talk about this now, but the scene with Ben and Rey fighting on the Death Star. I love that sequence.
Right. That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good.
So that's all.
That's also one of the John Williams, like, you guys gave him too much input. Let the man work.
Yeah. A couple other things I like about this movie is one of them is that I appreciate that, like other movies in the saga, the Force, like itself, actually continues to evolve. And so, what I mean by that is that people use the Force in new ways.
Yeah.
The highlight for me in episode 9 is all the stuff about Kylo and Rey being like a dyad in the Force. I will say it's never quite explained very well, but it does retcon sort of their experiences in episode 7 and 8. And you see in 7 and in 8 how their connection is strengthened. So, for example, in episode 8, they have these moments where suddenly they can actually converse across time or not time, but across space.
Yeah.
And they even have that real brief moment where they kind of touch hands real quickly.
Yeah.
In episode 9, that's projected even further. They're actually having entire fights with their lightsabers like across the galaxy.
Yeah.
That's really unique. That's really cool. And I love that that's a natural progression and expansion of their powers and their relationship there.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Some other things. You want me to just keep rattling through this?
Go for it.
Okay. A couple of more things. I love that they have the Death Star in it, and it's a really cool sequence. Everything that they do with the fight on the Death Star, Rey injuring Kylo, and then she heals him, and then Leia reaches out with the Force with her dying breath and all that. And then you got Han Solo and the memory and stuff like that. I think that whole sequence is probably the strongest of the movie. That's like my favorite part of this movie is just everything that happens in that little sequence. I think the Death Star itself is actually just a really cool setting for all of that.
Yeah, agreed.
I like Luke's Force Ghost. It's definitely a bit serving to the movie's weird plot points.
Yeah.
There's no other reason for her to go to Octo, whatever, but like I like that he raises the X-Wing, kind of hearkening back to Yoda on Dagobah, even though the reason or the tone for that is a little bit different. On that though, I think Luke could have been better deployed at a different moment in the movie.
Yeah,
perhaps.
he should have come out sooner.
He should have been involved with Kylo. Because there's the line at the end of episode 8 where he says, "See you around, kid."
Yeah.
And he doesn't. it would have been
well,
much
and
more
then it would have
compelling,
like the idea too that Han coming back, even though I like it, makes less sense than if it was just Luke.
Sure.
If Luke was the mediator for the two in their journey.
Yeah.
That would have made sense.
Yeah, that does make sense. Yeah.
But he comes in really late in the game, and it's almost like it gets confusing on why it took him so long to show up when after he shows up the first time, he's just kind of jumping everywhere.
Sure.
Because, he's just at the end in Tatooine, and then I think does he visit Leia?
Not in 9.
Not in 9. But I think he's somewhere else.
He shows up in like the flashback
of
him training Leia.
Okay. But it's like he's not held anywhere.
Right.
But they make it seem like he is.
Yeah, like you can only access him in these specific moments.
Yeah, which that's not how it worked in the original one.
That's right.
In Empire Strikes Back, Obi-Wan kind of is always talking to Luke and shows up, and
that's right.
Only really goes away when Luke kind of goes like, "I'm gonna go my route."
Yeah. Yeah, totally. I think that's kind of what I think you're putting good words to what I was saying too about Luke's Force Ghost
serves
the plot points almost and nothing else.
Right. Obi-Wan's contribution in Empire Strikes Back is the quote unquote voice of reason. Even though he's technically wrong, he's the one that's saying if you go, this will happen, or you need to train more, blah blah blah. And he's supposed to kind of be that you have more to go before you can accomplish this. Yeah. For Luke to then say, no, I can't accomplish it. And, he falls short. Obi-Wan is right. But at the same time, Luke's intentions are correct.
Sure.
So, there's that sense. Weird thing. This is, hey, we need someone to back this up. And Luke's like, I could do that. I'll be that person. Yeah. That's kind of what it is.
For sure. Luke has a great line, by the way, in this scene where he says, 1,000 generations live in you now. This is your fight.
Yeah.
I love that.
I think their kind of mode in how they treated the Jedi in this overall was bad, but there were moments that definitely were good, and that line was the good one.
Right. Yeah. Last thing that I want to mention that I like about the movie is the scene where Rey is kind of knocked down by Palpatine, and there's all the voices of generations passing, like "Rise, rise, Rey." Right. The voice, I think that's probably the best example of what I think Rise of Skywalker should have been in terms of the sentimentality, the history, sort of the backlog of characters that can contribute and really that have contributed over the course of 9 movies, paying homage to that. And so you have so many recognizable voices. You've got Anakin and Obi-Wan and Luke and Yoda. Mace Windu is in there.
Because you always have to have Samuel L. Jackson.
You've got it, right? You even have Ahsoka Tano, who's from originally the cartoons, but now she's in The Mandalorian and Boba Fett.
Cool.
And then you also have a couple more deep cuts from the cartoons. You've got Kanan Jarrus from Star Wars Rebels. You've got Master Luminara and Aayla Secura. These are awesome characters from the Clone Wars. So all of those voice actors, or at least regular actors came and lended to that moment. I do wish that the Rise of Skywalker had more Force ghosts. It would have been really cool to see Liam Neeson and Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen and all kind of coming alongside Rey. The Force ghosts were limited to Luke and then eventually Leia as well.
That would have been a little too Dragon Ball Z.
But I don't care. Like it's the last movie in the saga.
Yeah,
you got to pull out all the stops.
Yeah, that probably would have been cool. Yeah.
But I do love that. No, regardless, the voices of all of those big characters coming together.
Yeah,
awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, that wraps up the positives section.
Yeah,
for me.
A little light. I think I'm with you there. When we see Rey discovering the ability to transfer Force power or Force essence, whatever they said it was, to other beings, which was like a bad foreshadow. Like she did it to an animal or something.
It was the snake in like the cavern.
Yeah,
thing.
And then she explains it.
Yeah.
So,
I have notes on that.
Yeah. So she's like, "Hey, I'm doing this, so the audience knows." And then, this is a pivotal moment.
Yep.
In the story. While I like that she could do that, I didn't like how it was displayed. I really like Rey's journey. She is training. She understands the mission, and she's not letting anyone get in her way. And Poe kind of tries to take the lead sometimes when she knows what she's supposed to do. And I think they make a point of saying, like, that's fine, share it with the rest of us, kind of thing, which is great, too. But I also like that the reality that she is balancing the Force within her.
Yeah.
She's balancing the light and the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
And when she initially kills Kylo...
Yeah.
And realizes what she's done, and then heals him.
Yeah, regrets and
I liked all of that.
Awesome. Yeah.
And this is the part that's hard. There are aspects of it that I love.
Yep.
But then that same line of whatever it is, there are aspects that I hate.
Yeah.
So I loved all of it up to that point.
Right.
And then I hate the end part.
Yeah. Or you hate, in my case, there's parts that I love, but it's it's surrounded by nonsense, or the context is nonsense.
So my point in that is the healing.
Yeah.
Well, we have another instance in the movie where that healing occurs.
Absolutely.
I hate that scene.
Yes.
And that's what that's just bad.
Yeah. This movie has a lot of foreshadowing for itself.
Right. I liked why am I Finn?
Yeah.
Why?
Flynn?
I was that got in my head and I couldn't let it out. Finn, I liked his storyline. I think that's the storyline that should have happened in Last Jedi.
Yeah, Last Jedi really wrecked Finn's storyline.
And, whoever's at fault there, understanding he has deterred himself, understanding he is not alone, and then accepting his path should have been The Last Jedi.
Yeah.
And then Rise of Skywalker should have been him excelling at it.
Sure.
Not him learning.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That should have been it should have been he escapes, he understands, he excels.
And he uses, yeah.
But it was he escapes again.
Yes.
Then he learns.
Yeah. Yep.
And that, it draws him out.
That makes sense, yeah. It's a good explanation.
I don't like that Rose was such a big thing, and then she was just nothing.
We'll talk about that. I've got notes.
I don't know why I'm saying that now.
Yeah. Positives.
Positives. I actually liked the First Order aspect of it.
Yeah.
Not the connection to the Empire.
Not the Final Order.
No. But the First Order's move throughout this film. The new general that they...
Payne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's great. He fits...
He's who the
villain should have been.
Yeah.
But he's who the villain should have been.
Yeah.
The Hux...
The whole time.
The Hux thing was great. The reveal, the killing of Hux, all of that is perfect. He should have been the villain.
Yep.
He was great. He was intimidating. He fit the mold of that Death Star general, really felt classic. But it was overshadowed by everything else that was happening.
For sure.
Like you said, the fight on the Death Star, very cool.
Awesome.
Very cool.
How cool is that in that lightsaber fight where they're stopping each other's lightsabers with the Force?
Yeah.
And they're just with their hand out.
And then the Force is pushing the energy from the saber away.
Almost like.
I actually liked Poe's side story.
With Zori and stuff. Yeah.
I really like that because, I think it brought humanity to him.
Yeah.
Which, again, should have been done in The Last Jedi.
Sure.
If they had gone to that planet and he met up with her instead of the casino.
Sure.
How much better.
Poe didn't go to the casino.
I know.
Oh, okay.
But instead, he acted like a baby on the ship and committed mutiny.
Sure.
But, he had this thing that, he still is showing his, impulsiveness and his, Han Solo-esque aspects.
Yeah.
But, he's matured from it. He's learned from it. He understands more of the humanity of, he's going and fighting off in this journey, and while that's hard, the life of the people who stay is just as hard.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The people who can't escape.
That's right.
That's such a good lesson and such a good story, and I love that aspect. I just hated that it was just kind of tossed in here,
Right.
I also really Poe. I still like Poe. I still think he's a great character. He's very funny.
Yeah.
And his last interaction with her where he's pointing and she's like, no, and he's like, that's fine.
Very funny.
Yeah. And then the stuff you talked about too, I thought was great.
Yeah.
I think the voices part that was so cool. Yeah. That was really cool. I liked the Kylo Ren and Han Solo reconciliation.
Yeah, that's great.
Because one thing they did build in it is that Kylo and Leia had a respected relationship. The reason that Kylo avoided Leia so much is because he did love her.
Mm-hmm.
And he felt
he's disappointed in him.
Right.
Yeah.
And even though he loves his dad, because his dad is morally more questionable, he can kind of take it out on him. And this was him realizing, no matter how flawed my father was, he always loved me and he was always trying. And I miss that.
Yeah.
And this was a nice reconciliation. So I really like that. I thought that was really cool.
That's great.
And then, like yourself, I think that about sums up all the things I like.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
What did you? Okay, this is a loaded question. What are the things you didn't like about the film? Not just the least, but what are the things that you took issue with?
Yeah. Oh, okay. I was picking between two. There's two big ones that are sort of the main negatives for me. So in no particular order. The first one, we've talked in previous episodes about what a MacGuffin is.
Yes.
The idea of it's an item that exists in a story solely for the purpose of like giving the character somewhere to go or something to do.
Correct.
Right?
Correct.
My first big negative, my first like primary negative of this movie is that this movie is MacGuffin after MacGuffin after MacGuffin. And so much of the movie is spent with our characters just talking about MacGuffins.
It's National Treasure.
It's national, yeah. It's
National Treasure in space.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's National Treasure in space.
They're just like literally MacGuffin leads to MacGuffin. We got to find a wayfinder. Okay, well then we got to find a dagger. Okay, we got to find a way to read the dagger. We got to find another wayfinder.
It is National Treasure.
It is
because they have to find the first clue, which ends up being the pipe.
Yep.
And then they're like, well, what's in it? And then the pipe itself has inscriptions, which then leads to a map
behind the brick, and
which you have to figure out how to read the map once you get it.
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
So
J.J. Abrams' National Treasured Star Wars.
Yeah. But think about this. Every single one of these things only exists for itself and for the next MacGuffin, right? They don't contribute to the story. And they don't contribute to the characters. They don't contribute really to the substance of the movie.
And the Wayfinder itself, is such a weird MacGuffin.
Right.
Because, we see it in movies a lot of like, there was only one person who made the USB drive that had this thing, the map to the most important thing possible.
Right.
And I just can't believe in that plausibility.
Right.
I cannot believe that the Emperor set a team out to find the forbidden, unknown Sith planet, and only 2 devices in the entire universe have any information about it.
Yeah.
It's
crazy.
Ridiculous.
Crazy.
And that is suspending disbelief to the point that we're turned upside down. Like we can't. Yeah. That's dumb. Like it's to the point where that's a dumb twist.
Yeah.
Even
the climactic battle on Exegol is predicated around we need to destroy this navigation beacon. The navigation beacon is a MacGuffin. And the funny thing about that is that first of all, apparently Star Destroyers can't take off by themselves. That's ridiculous. But secondly, the Sith just turn off the navigation beacon anyway once they realize that the Resistance is going after it, and then they just use the navigation from like the main Star Destroyer and stuff. Like the fact that so much time and energy of the characters and of the movie and of the script are put into like these navigation beacons just for literally actually for nothing.
They could have even just said like, hey, this Sith planet has really weird gravity.
Yeah.
And there's only one takeoff point.
Yeah.
That would have made way more sense than
a beacon.
Like a beacon that is easily moved.
Right.
Because then it's like, hey, they moved it.
Yeah.
So if they destroy the ship, can't they just turn on the original beacon that did not get destroyed?
Yes. Like literally, yes. It's just, man. That's the key issue of this movie, right? It's like, it doesn't feel like there's any thought put into any of these decisions or how any of these things.
That's also like
together.
A really so when you have a movie that has such great odds and such weight behind it.
Yeah.
So like the payoff of the situation is if the Final Order achieves its goal and sends these ships out, it's essentially the destruction or enslaving of the entire universe.
That's right.
So those are what we're dealing with.
Yeah.
And the fix to that is we broke a satellite.
Yeah, we broke like one little tower.
It should have been, we have to destroy this planet.
Yeah.
And it wasn't.
It's not. No.
Because, like, what's to stop anyone? We now have hundreds, maybe even hundreds of thousands of ships.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, they're the resistance. But they're also making a point in all the shows to show us that maybe people in the resistance aren't that great.
Yep.
So there's that. But then, too, you have hundreds of thousands of people who now know where this formerly unknown planet is.
You've just directed everybody in the galaxy to where this place is.
That has ships.
Yep.
That they just need a little extra help with a beacon to get out. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it should have been, we need to destroy this freaking thing.
Yeah.
And oh my gosh. It was so dumb.
Primary criticism number 2, or negative number 2. And this is a big one. We've even talked about this already a little bit today. Palpatine's return.
Never should have happened.
Never should have happened. I think this is the worst decision that the story makes, that the whole story makes.
Yeah.
Is choosing to have Emperor Palpatine return. It doesn't work for 2 big reasons. Number 1, probably more than that, but at least 2. Number 1, it's completely needless, right?
Exactly. That's great.
It robs the sequel trilogy's villains of all of their scariness and power. Okay, Snoke, super scary in episode 7 and 8 until he died, of course. But like, you watch episode 7, you're like, oh my gosh, this Snoke dude, right? Hux and Kylo Ren, whatever. Put Palpatine back on the table, and all of those guys pale in comparison. So it completely strips the power away from what they had going. The other thing is that what is the point then of episodes 1 through 6 and the sacrifices and the heroes and the journey to kill Palpatine at the end of 6? For what?
Nothing.
Nothing. Literally absolutely nothing. Vader's redemption.
Darth Vader redeemed himself for nothing.
For nothing.
Like, I guess to fix his family.
But none of that made any difference.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Awful.
Luke's death. Leia's death. Han's death.
Yep.
All of them.
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Boo.
Also, what are we to do with the Chosen One prophecy with Anakin? If he's the Chosen One, he kills Palpatine. He brings balance to the Force. 30 years later, it's unbalanced again. Like what?
By the same thing that unbalanced it.
Literally. Yes.
Yeah.
So, number 1, it's unneeded. It's just completely unnecessary. Number 2, I would say Palpatine's return is unexplained, to say the least. There's no part of this movie that actually shows the reemergence or that explains the reemergence.
Or gives any hint to it.
Yeah, this is so confusing, right? Because Palpatine's return would have been headline news the entire galaxy. Everyone's like, oh dang, like the Emperor is back. We're all in danger. And I'm like, the movie alludes to that's the case. But
poorly.
You have to.
It poorly alludes to it.
It has to put us in that moment. Like the movie has to show us the galaxy collectively going, "Oh no!" across all these planets,
right?
As opposed to there's like 3 lines with the Resistance of like somehow Palpatine returned,
right?
And
which is really, which also like takes away from the gravity of him coming back.
It totally does. It totally does. You want to know the worst part about this? I don't know if you know this or not. Palpatine returned to the galaxy with a message that was broadcast. They kind of allude to that in the movie. The movie does not show or play the broadcast at all.
It's just because he farts in a microphone. That's all he does.
No. You want to hear something incredible? It's going to sound like I'm joking. I don't know if you've ever heard this before, but I swear it's true.
Oh, no.
Palpatine's return, the speech specifically. I can't believe I'm saying this. It's not played in the movie at all, but Lucasfilm released it in a Fortnite event. There was a live event on Fortnite.
On Fortnite?
They had like all like the Star Wars skins and everything like that, where they did actually play the canonical speech of Palpatine returning.
It was revealed on Fortnite.
That is not a joke. I swear to you.
That's a horrible not joke.
I wish I was joking.
That was written on a popsicle stick.
Yeah.
That's an inside joke.
Yeah.
That's a great one, too.
That speech had to be in the movie. The speech had to be in the movie.
Yeah.
Why is it not in the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. They even got the actor, Ian McDermott, in Fortnite to do the thing. It's not in the movie.
Also, like, his plan doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that's a whole other thing. Like, what is Palpatine even trying to do? Like, destroy every planet?
But
like,
not even that. His plan to return to where he has to absorb Rey.
Yeah.
When he created Snoke.
Yep.
Who was a fully functioning being.
That's right.
So what? Why do
you need this new vessel? Yeah.
And Snoke's ability with the Force, at least in the beginning, far surpassed Rey.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why do you need Rey?
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
The only reasons that the movie even hints at for being how he was able to survive, how he was able to return, there's like a throwaway line in the Resistance base about like, oh, the dark side magic and, you know, possession and cloning and all this dark side stuff they do. It's unspecific. It's a throwaway line even within the Resistance, and that to me seems to indicate that the writers of the movie didn't even care to answer that.
Yeah,
we
just have zombie Palpatine,
right?
Like he's essentially a zombie.
Yeah,
you could have just said, you know, if you brought him back.
Yeah,
if you brought him back.
Yeah.
You know what we could have done?
I have an idea.
This could be the Sith version of a Jedi ghost.
There you go.
It could be...
That'd be fun.
He doesn't become a ghost.
He's like red.
He
like
has
tinged.
to be encapsulated in the body that was.
Mm-hmm.
So it continues to deteriorate.
Sure.
It continues to rot.
Yeah.
But he is still functioning somehow. Sure. But he's not alive.
Yeah.
So he needs a Force powerful body.
Vessel.
You would still have the Snoke issue.
Right.
Because you freaking made one.
Yeah.
But maybe he has vanity and he's like, hey, I was ugly once. Now I want to be pretty.
Yeah.
I don't know. It could be like, while Snoke was powerful, due to our cloning systems, he could only live so long.
Yeah.
So I needed someone young.
I think that's the direction they want to go. So I don't. In the novelization of Episode 9, they do offer some kind of an explanation for what happens. For him to survive Episode 6. So I'll read you the quote here. This is referring back to Episode 6, but this is in the novelization of Episode 9. The paragraph reads, the falling, dying emperor called on all the dark power of the Force to thrust his consciousness far, far away to a secret place that he had been preparing. His body was dead, an empty vessel, long before it hit the bottom of that shaft on the Death Star. And his mind jolted to a new awareness in a new body, a painful one and a temporary one. So basically, the Sith Eternal working on Exegol, trying to clone Palpatine for years up, before Episode 6, so that in the event of his life being in danger, he could shift his consciousness to somewhere safe. So that's the explanation we get only in the novelization of Episode 9.
And that doesn't fit what we are visually given.
Not at all. No, we're not given visually
what we're given visually is this is the same body.
That's right too. Yeah,
that is in 6.
Yeah,
it is.
It's a cop out. Like it's doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, which if that was the case, that would have been, I guess, more something than what we got.
Yeah,
but we got what we got.
Yeah. Another thing that they could have done, and this would have required, like, planning out the whole trilogy, but if they were dead set on bringing Palpatine back, they needed to have hinted about him.
Yeah, we
in
needed
one
something
of the
more.
previous movies.
Yeah,
you need
absolutely.
to have seen him, at some point beforehand. So yeah, that's another
also
big negative.
So kind of continuing on to that.
Yeah,
the most negative part about Palpatine. No. He's not necessary. You could have done this whole thing, and it could have been Snoke.
Yep.
And it would have made more sense.
That works.
Because you could have said,
even if it was a clone of Snoke.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep.
Because then Snoke could have been like, I have figured out how to jump consciousness within the Force.
That would have been scary
and
as heck.
Snoke's return could have been bullying Kylo and been like, did you really think you could defeat me?
That would have been awesome.
You need to bow or I will destroy you now. Like, it could have worked. Something.
That would have been cool.
It would have been better.
Yeah.
It would have been better. Palpatine, him himself, in the grand scope of it, like you said, just ruins everything else.
Yeah.
It ruins all the previous episodes. So use what you have introduced.
Yep.
Because while I like what 7 did with Snoke, that transfer, the direction of it is then Kylo is falling off the edge, and Kylo becomes the most destructive Sith to have ever existed. That's the outcome.
Yep.
If you don't want to go that way, if you want him to have a redemption, not just a fight to the death, you need something there. The idea that Kylo worshipped his grandfather to then turn so quickly to follow the Emperor is kind of ridiculous, because his grandfather turned on the Emperor. No matter what he believed about the Sith aspect of it, no matter what, Darth Vader defeated the Emperor.
Right.
You could take that and go, if he hadn't have died, he would have then stepped into that role and become the greatest Sith of all time.
Sure.
If he wanted to deny that.
Yeah.
But instead, the being that killed his grandfather ultimately, he is now bowing to.
Yep.
But what?
Yeah.
None of that. None of that.
You're totally right.
None of that.
Yep.
So why even put it in? Use the characters you develop. Don't use that. Snoke would have worked.
Yep.
That
would have been cool. I've never thought of that before, but that would have been awesome.
Commander Payne or whatever his name is.
Sure.
He could have been the one that was like, I created Snoke because I needed something like the Batman.
Yeah.
I needed that lore.
Mm-hmm.
I needed something that could do that. But in reality, it's just man.
Yep.
It's just a man.
Yeah.
A man defeated the Force.
Yeah.
There's another thing you could have said. You could have put questionability into the Force. And so it's the rise of the Force.
Sure.
No, it's the friggin' Emperor. It's Palpatine. They had so much good they could have worked with, and they just was like, let's just put Palpatine in. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Whatever. Who cares?
That's the kind of, like, again, just improvised, chaotic, like,
Palpatine
they jump on the first idea that come into their head.
And it's so, I don't know how no one through this process went, no.
Yeah.
Don't bring him back. Don't.
I don't know.
No, we're closing that door.
Yeah.
Like, why?
Yeah.
Why bring him back? why not use these other things?
Yeah.
You've introduced characters. Make Kylo irredeemable.
Mm-hmm.
Take him to that point.
Sure.
Make him greater than the Emperor. Nope. No. Palpatine. And how they... Oh, gosh. The first 5 minutes, we get Kylo doing his thing to find the Wayfinder and then meeting Palpatine.
Yeah.
And it's such a dumb reveal.
Yeah.
Like, it's not good. It's not a good reveal.
Right.
If that would have been the reveal, like, if the plot point... Here's where I might give it grace. If the plot point would have been Rey and Kylo are racing to the waypoint. Sure. They're racing. Mm-hmm. And Palpatine is revealed halfway through the movie. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe.
But 5 minutes in, and we're supposed to be like, all right, we're off to the races. Our movie is completely surrounded by our antagonist being not Kylo, not Hux, not the First Order, Palpatine, who is a zombie connected to a machine that looks like one of the robots from the Matrix. Like,
you think I think this was an episode of Destroy the Shield Generator with James, but do you think that the crane that Palpatine is kind of hanging from has like some operator named like Steve? Palpatine's like, Steve.
No, I think it's Force.
Oh, it probably Force powered.
But you know what makes that annoying too is, what are those beings called? The Sith Eternal or whatever?
Sith Eternal, yeah.
That's so much lore thrown into 30 seconds.
Yeah.
To just believe not only did Palpatine survive. Yeah. There is this Sith planet that no one has ever heard of until this movie that has hundreds, if not hundreds of thousands of these Sith beings who are at the beck and call and, like, I don't know, open mic audience.
Yeah.
Like, they're just like in a weird Coliseum of sorts, just
underground,
like always just staring at Palpatine. Like, is he just trying out jokes most of the time? Right. Like, what are they doing? They're not working.
No,
he just has like 10 guys around him working.
Right.
What are those other people doing? Is he just diatribing all time?
You think pontificating? They have like
and they're just there, just like golf clap, like.
Well, I don't know. Like, do you think there's like a whole like city and economy?
No.
Is there a Costco on Exegol?
I don't think that. Because they do nothing. From the beginning of the movie, that Coliseum is filled until it, like, the fight scene, it's still filled.
Yeah.
What are they doing? Not a dang thing. And then, and what, the movie, every time it cuts to that scene, it's like City Hall meeting.
Yeah.
Like, it's so dumb. Oh my gosh. That part of the movie is so dumb. Okay, let's go to the next thing that I hate, because I could probably hate on Palpatine all day.
Next thing that I dislike about Episode 9 is the way it undoes so much of Episode 8. Right?
Yeah.
It is egregious and it's cringeworthy how systematically this movie presses undo on not all, but on so many decisions that are present in Episode 8. So another one of the worst parts of this movie, because it puts on full display that the sequel trilogy was not planned. It was abrupt, it was inconsistent, it was chaotic, and it shows. These decisions in 9, I would even say, are worse because they don't even try to smooth things over. They don't try to iron things out or explain any of them. It's just the chaotic production process literally on full display. So here's some examples. You mentioned these. You mentioned at least one of these before tonight. The character of Rose. She's introduced in Episode 8 as this handy technician for the Resistance, and she finds a way to be on the front lines on a few important missions. multiple times in episode 8, she rises to the occasion. She proves her worth. She even keeps our main heroes grounded in their core beliefs. And through episode 8, she becomes perhaps one of the most prominent side characters, at least beyond our big three. Now, in episode 9, Rose is relegated, get this, to just 1 minute and 16 seconds of screen time, not even dialogue time, but she's just in the frame for no more than 1 minute and 16 seconds.
Awful. That's so bad.
Finn even asks her once they have the mission and they're ready to go. She's like, "Come on, Rose, let's go." And she says this line, "The general asked me to study the specs of old star destroyers so we can stop the fleet if you find it." And just what a nonsensical line that is. They're old star destroyers. We should have studied them before. We should have the blueprint somewhere and on a hard drive. Like, what is that? That is just nothing. It's just we can't have her go along.
And that's also like the explanation within itself. So we have one, it's dumb in the movie.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and say we're in the movie world. Hey, come with us. Hey, I can't. My boss told me to overlook these papers that our organization has scanned through for literal decades.
30 years, at least.
But I'm going to find something new that they didn't find. Also, no. Like, what?
Good luck, guys.
That's backhanded to her, even within the world of the movie.
Yeah.
Not just us as an audience seeing that and going, "Oh, she's being relegated to this time.
Yeah.
That sucks."
Yeah.
But her as a character being relegated to that is freaking bonkers.
And here's the thing, too. Like, J.J. Abrams was asked about this on, like, the press tour of, like, I guess it would have been after the people saw the movie. Hey, what happened with Rose? Where'd she go? And the reasoning that he gave was that so much of Rose's story was going to be written around Leia and to be with the Resistance base and stuff. But because Leia or Carrie Fisher died, that they had to take that out of the movie. But
she died halfway through Last Jedi.
Yeah.
You didn't plan that out?
Not an answer.
That's so dumb.
Literally, Carrie Fisher died before they could have written her.
The script
scenes.
Wasn't written.
Yeah.
The script wasn't written.
Yeah. So I don't know what that explanation is trying to say.
It's my gosh. It's
like objectively false. This is bad.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. The scenes weren't written yet.
Yeah.
So anyway,
you were lazy and you couldn't figure out a reason to put her in.
So that's number one on the pressing Control Z on episode 8. Another one. This is the tiniest. This is not really a big deal in the grand scheme of things, but it's just kind of funny. Kylo Ren's helmet. He has it in for most of episode 7. He destroys his helmet in anger towards the beginning of episode 8. Spends the rest of episode 8 not wearing the mask because it's a symbol of him. It's him basically saying, "I don't need a mask to portray my anger and my fierceness. I can do that with my face." Right. Right at the beginning of episode 9, he's rebuilding that mask.
Yeah. And you know what's annoying about that? Again,
beyond hiding Adam Driver's beautiful face.
That he is a prime cut of meat, isn't he? Mm. Anyway. He didn't have to do that.
Of course not.
And not just like the idea of we don't have to do this because blah 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 blah. He lost the helmet to discover that new aspect of himself.
Yeah.
Create a newer aspect.
Mm.
This should have been to fall into a nice parallel with the other ones.
Yeah.
Kylo should have adopted the hood as
That would have been cool.
As sole outfit, because Anakin adopted the hood, became the Red Eye, more in depth with the Sith. Luke adopted the hood.
Did.
And in the third one, Kylo adopts the hood. That would have been a nice homage to that.
The hood would have been good.
Put the helmet back together with some like weird red welding. You know what? I wish we could say it's above this, but this whole series has been revealing the fact that Lucas was great with merchandise.
Yeah.
And ultimately, great merchandising choice. Dumb everything else.
Yeah, for sure.
But like, it made a cool toy.
Yeah.
And maybe that was literally why they did it, which is dumb. But yeah, I would have loved like a hood and like really accepting the scar.
Yeah.
You
can get like red like threads in the robe and
right.
stuff, like red lines.
Maybe
and stuff,
maybe the deeper he gets into the Sith, the more his scar like burns or something, or like there's so much they could have done instead of
just rebuild the helmet.
Yeah.
It's just the same old helmet. The third thing with undoing episode 8, and this is a really big one. This is maybe the biggest one actually. Is with Rey's heritage, Rey's parentage. So as we know, episode 8 went deep into the idea that Rey is a nobody. And it's refreshing, and it's a novel idea for a franchise where, frankly, most of the main characters in these movies all come literally from the same family. And so...
Very royal of them.
Right. Long live the queen, long live... Okay.
Boo.
The idea that Rey is a nobody was so essential to her character and to the sequel trilogy as a whole, and... a big part of what made the sequel trilogy interesting and reimagined compared to other Star Wars. But of course, Episode 9 decides to make Rey Palpatine's granddaughter. And that, to me, undercuts the best parts of the sequel trilogy. And this choice is just a lot less interesting. Furthermore, all of the random foreshadowing leading up to the eventual reveal is annoying and very forced.
Yeah.
We talked about how the movie foreshadows itself so much a bit earlier. But think about this. In the course of this movie leading up to the reveal, you have so many lines that say stuff like this. First of all, you have Palpatine telling Kylo she's not who you think she is. Then you get Leia telling her, never be afraid of who you are. 10 minutes later, C-3PO tells Rey that the child in the festival would be honored to know your family name. Like, okay. Rey sees Ochi's ship and says aloud to herself, I've seen that ship before. And then Kylo tells her during one of their Force connections, I know the rest of your story. It's like, okay, movie. Like, we know we're going to get Rey's parentage. You hint at it literally 6 times in like an hour and a half. Like, just tell us. Just tell us.
Gosh, I don't know what to compare that to. But I don't even know if I've seen that in a movie, or maybe I have.
Sure.
But it's basically like, hey, there is definitely a payoff.
Yeah.
Hey, payoff's coming.
It's
By the way, did you know there is a payoff?
Payoff coming up. It's so dumb.
Oh man,
it's really dumb. It's genuinely annoying whenever one of those lines happens in the movie, especially now that once you've seen the movie, those lines maybe only work the first time you watch the movie,
right?
But it kills the rewatchability of the movie,
right?
Even more. Anyway. So that's it for the episode 8 stuff.
Okay, hold on. So I want to go on that.
Please do.
It's dumb because even if you keep this plot of Palpatine, you didn't have to do that.
Did not.
Because the least believable part about this whole movie is that Palpatine had a family.
Yep.
That is the least believable part. He's in his 50s in episode 1, maybe.
Probably, yeah.
Maybe older.
Mm-hmm.
And there's no child.
Yeah.
There's no family. There's nothing.
Well,
this is 60 years later.
Yeah.
And somehow he had a kid in that time.
There is an explanation for that in the novelization
Here's
of the episode 9.
Hold on. I don't even care what the explanation is. I don't care because it didn't have to happen.
It did not have to happen.
Because you know what you could have done? You could have still done she's a clone of him, and the Empire made many clones and put them with random families, random no one families. So you still could have had no one parents.
Sure.
And what you could have done for Rey in particular, all those other clones didn't work.
Yeah.
They died. They didn't click to the Force. When the Empire found out that she clicked, they took her no one parents away and left her with someone trusted within the Empire to keep her, 1, a secret, and 2, alive. Yeah. That's all they had to do. Yeah. But after the Empire falls, the person runs out. They have no commitment. Yeah. So Rey is on her own.
Yeah.
They didn't have to connect it any further than that.
Yeah.
She could have been maybe not even a clone.
Sure.
Maybe just the Emperor Palpatine went through a list of kids he thought were Force sensitive and said, these are the ones we need to keep.
Sure.
The First Order
yeah.
kidnapped kids all the time. The whole soldiering of this entire empire, this new empire, are all kidnapped kids.
Yeah.
Why not just leave it there?
Yeah.
You don't even have to. They could have just said, because of what Vader did, upon bringing balance to the Force, there is a new awareness to the Force. The Force has elevated itself.
Sure.
And now we have to find those who go above and beyond, who are naturally above and beyond, because those are the ones who are going to be able to sustain the power we need. They could have done any of that.
That makes
sense.
Yeah.
Nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
You could have still brought Palpatine in, still kept her parents as no one, and it would have worked. Yeah. It would have worked.
Yep.
But it got so convoluted with Palpatine has like a rebellious son, which he had in his 70s or 80s because he's Sith, so we don't really know how old he is.
Right.
Probably by the time of Return of the Jedi, he's probably 100. We don't know. He's old. Yeah. He's old in episode 1, but the Sith Force that he's using is keeping him younger.
Sure.
Easy explanation, because that feels plausible.
Sure.
He killed his master because his master figured out how to keep people alive. So what if this whole time he's just keeping himself alive?
Mm-hmm. It makes sense. But
hey, I just said that randomly. I didn't write this down. Why wasn't that part of the explanation? Why wasn't part of the explanation the literal plot points in episodes 2 and 3 for Palpatine? If they would have said, hey, he's alive because of the stuff he learned from his masters.
There you go.
That would have made a heck of a lot more sense than anything that happened in episode 9. What? Oh my gosh, I didn't even think of that until right now. Why was that?
Oh my gosh.
That was just nulled.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
This movie sucks.
For what it's worth, if you're curious, the novelization explains Rey's parentage a little more as well, along with Palpatine, creating clones on a faraway planet to go to. Basically, the explanation they give is not that Not that Palpatine was ever romantically involved with anybody, but that the clones were like his sons, and that
So the son that's in the movie is a clone of him.
It's like a defective clone of Palpatine that was like discarded. And then
here's
fell
the thing.
In love,
here's the
Rey.
thing. Here's the thing. A lot of the times they're calling the clones defective.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's the donor.
Yeah. Good point.
1 in 5 men.
Wow.
I don't know. I don't know. I just remember that from Iron Man or from the Avengers.
Terrible. So yeah, that's the explanation. One of the clones is defective, gets cast away,
Man,
falls in love.
honestly, if they would have put that in the movie, I would have probably had more buy-in.
Sure. Just put it in the movie.
Because the son is the least believable part in the whole movie.
Yeah. Next thing on my negatives list. There are no stakes in the movie after they fake us out with Chewbacca's not death. Chewbacca is taken away in the First Order transport. Rey blows it up with Force lightning, thinks that she just killed Chewbacca.
The stakes is foreshadowing. That's it. The whole purpose of... I was thinking about that. Because I was like, it's... As far as her arc goes, that's one of those things that needed to happen. But that was just...
Lightning,
That was not even lightning.
Oh.
Her inability to control herself.
Oh, sure.
It was her... One of the things about Rey that is so important is she depends both on her light and dark side.
Yeah.
She is balanced.
Yep.
We'll get into that later.
We absolutely will.
But
in more ways than you know.
She's balanced.
Yep.
This was her unbalancing.
Yep.
Her maybe...
Great point.
Maybe it's the BS romantic thing with Kylo Ren, which I don't like that.
Sure.
I don't agree with it. But her falling for him, whatever it is, keeping herself unbalanced. We needed that. Regardless of the lightning, we needed that.
Yeah.
But in the context of what happens and the reveal that Chewbacca is still alive, all that sets up for is the foreshadowing for when she kills Kylo. The first time he dies.
Sure.
That's all it is. It is
she
is not balanced.
Mm-hmm.
She is falling.
Yeah.
And she is leaning on her dark side too much. And it's going to get someone she cares for killed.
Yep.
And then the reveal that Chewbacca isn't dead was, see, look, she let go,
okay.
but no one died.
No
one died. It's okay. It's okay. But that is only foreshadowing to when it's not okay.
Right.
And then again, the stakes are then...
It's just no stakes.
There's no stakes because she heals him.
You know that the movie is not going to do anything bold after that time.
Right.
Which is bold and conclusive and like dramatic is what the conclusion of this 9-movie saga should be. And if they had actually killed Chewbacca...
Put Rose in there.
Well, whatever. But
put someone else.
Think about this,
like,
though.
No, I don't mean that as like Rose is...
Dispensable.
But if you don't want to get rid of Chewbacca, put an important character in there.
Or just make it Chewbacca. Like, if Chewbacca had actually died in that moment...
I don't know if I'd be okay with that.
I know, but like it would have been a lot.
Chewbacca's a saint, sir.
I know.
No, but we also have Lando, so maybe Chewbacca can go. It's okay.
But anyway, my point is, like, I guess the rest of the movie, there's so many situations where you think important pieces or characters are going to be in danger, and you can just rely on them not being in danger.
Yeah, there's
no stakes.
That's... And that's something that was needed.
Yeah.
Not just the stakes idea, but someone who maybe didn't deserve to die that was important dying.
Yeah.
Because Kylo deserved to die.
Yeah.
Like,
sure.
Morality aside, in the grand scope of cinematic karma.
Yeah.
You have this character who's finding redemption, but
Yeah.
for all the heinous things that he's done, the best redemption for him is a good death.
Yep.
That's the best redemption.
All you can
Him
ask for.
like turning good and then doing good things is not great. Marvel does that.
Yeah.
It's questionable at best. I love Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
Questionable at best.
Yeah.
Even Black Widow, questionable at best.
Sure. Yeah.
But this one is the optimum redemption for a character like Kylo is death. So we can guarantee it. So his death,
Sure.
in the scope of the stakes of the movie,
Sure.
don't matter.
Don't matter.
Because he should die.
Sure.
We need a character who shouldn't.
That's right.
And that's why I'm saying, like, Rose shouldn't die.
Sure.
Chewbacca shouldn't die.
Yeah.
Finn shouldn't die. Poe shouldn't die. Leia died because of the situation outside of the film's control. Carrie Fisher, bless her heart, died.
Yeah.
But that's why she had to leave the movie in the scope of the story.
That's right.
But we were missing a character who didn't Hux deserved to die. And guess what? He did.
Yeah.
And he got shot. And it was good.
Yeah.
Even though the bad guy killed him, he died because we learned everything he was doing was not noble. It was still selfish.
Yeah.
So he should have died.
Yeah.
In the scope of stories. I sound like a murderer.
It's all good. A couple funny sort of addendums to this point about Chewbacca. Number one, there is concept art from episode 9 of a scene where Chewbacca is in captivity on the Star Destroyer, and Kylo Ren is torturing Chewbacca, and they were going to have a scene of that and basically interrogating and torturing Chewbacca by Kylo Ren.
But
which
it's essentially him. But he would have Kylo's character arc should have been him going to that extreme. Then
that's the thing.
But they took it away.
And here's what's crazy is that Kylo is Han Solo's son. Like, he would have grown up.
Chewbacca's his uncle.
Basically his uncle.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Bob's his uncle, Chewbacca.
Yeah. The second thing, I think this is hilarious. I don't know if this is true or not, but it was at least a joke that J.J. Abrams once shared. He said that in writing the movie, they were kicking around the idea of including a scene during the battle on Exegol when all the ships are flying around and stuff. I laughed just imagining this happening. There was going to be a scene where they shoot down the Millennium Falcon. First, the Final Order destroys the Millennium Falcon, and on board was going to be Leia, Lando, Chewbacca, R2-D2, and C-3PO. Like, all dead, all gone in like 1 second.
That's a retcon above all others.
It's just that it was going to be one grand, like, instantaneous goodbye to like every single legacy character, which is honestly hilarious. I'm glad they didn't do that. That's too much. That's
crazy.
Too much.
That's crazy.
But
that's
all on the Millennium Falcon.
That's
just
crazy.
Gone in an instant. Yeah,
because that's one on the grand scope of like battle plans.
Sure.
You wouldn't have Leia, Lando, Chewbacca,
no,
and 2 droids with an infinite amount of information all on one ship. Like,
you got to spread out your pieces.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Anyway, so that's it for Chewbacca. Okay, a couple last negatives. We'll go through these real quick. Number one, we mentioned John Williams earlier. I think that Episode 9 has perhaps the least iconic score from John Williams of any Star Wars movie.
Go ahead and I have a thing I want to say, but go ahead.
Okay, I'd put it this way. If you think about Episodes 1 through 8, at least in my head, and I'm sure that other people can do this too, you can think of actually like a single piece of music that individual movie puts in your head, and there some iconic whatever song, score, etc. And in episode 9, there's not a piece of music that does that for episode 9. Everything that I can remember being in episode 9 musically is just kind of a riff or a spin-off of pre-existing music.
Yes.
Getting reused, reworked, etc. But yeah, there's no like identifying episode 9 music.
Here's an observation I had. Do you think... Okay, do you remember what year Stranger Things came out?
Originally?
Yeah.
2016?
Yeah.
Okay.
2016. 2 years before this movie came out.
Okay. 3.
Think of the fight scene on the Sith planet. Think of the music.
All I hear is just like the screechy lightning.
But it's all... Maybe I'm remembering wrong. It feel like it's all synth. Not Sith. Synth.
Yeah.
It's very Stranger Things.
I don't remember that.
It's because the music... Here's how forgettable that music is.
Okay.
Someone did something where they put... I need a hero.
Okay.
To that scene. That's all I ever remember. I can't even remember the original version. That's all I remember.
That's amazing.
So maybe I'm remembering wrong, but it feels very like Stranger Things-esque in its sound. But I think your aspect of it is very true. Of there are no iconic melodies in that movie, or you're either hearing Kylo's established or Rey's established theme or the classic Star Wars themes. Even the fight music for like when they're trying to destroy that one Star Destroyer and all that stuff isn't like classically Star Wars.
No, it's not. It's just generic like action. It's upbeat and everything.
Yeah, but
there's nothing iconic.
Yeah.
There's nothing memorable.
But in the fight scene in the Sith planet, yeah, the lightning is kind of what the sound design is. There's music under it, but it's just not...
It just sounds like someone screeching on like a stringed instrument.
It's very like Hans Zimmer, Dark Knight, where you're not getting anything particular.
Yeah.
It's just an ambiance.
Yeah.
Which is wrong for John Williams.
Exactly.
Super wrong.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Which that's what makes me feel like someone told him to do this.
Yeah.
Because his would sound too much like classical music because that's his groove. Yeah. Like,
or if he had started writing for Colin Trevorrow's version,
and
that got scrapped, and like
he was in a. I feel like he'd be able to write. He's a fantastic piano player and is amazing in classical and jazz and all that. So I feel like he'd be able to come up with something, but it just feels off.
Yeah.
Feels super off.
Yeah.
Poor John Williams. I'm glad he wrote the theme for Obi-Wan, so he's like, I want one last...
I love that piece.
Yeah, one last
awesome.
thing.
Next one, I just find we've talked about cinematography a lot in the last few movies. Sequel trilogy specifically. My old notion of like if I can make it a desktop background, it's good cinematography. Non-scientific, but whatever, it works for me. This movie is just not there. It just doesn't have that. It's beautiful in the sense that it's the
CGI is the best it's ever been. Yeah. The display of shots,
the
cinematography. Again. It's not because they're looking at like. And maybe this is where I am getting this Stranger Things vibe. That Sith world, it feels like the Upside Down. Like the ships, the Star Destroyer is coming up, but it's all dark and the lightning.
Cloudy.
It's basically Star Wars Upside Down. This movie steals a lot from other movies. I did not notice that before.
Yeah. I would just say, like, you remember how in episode 8, we talked about how there's like no sunlight, there's no daylight.
Right.
This movie has some daylight. There's the desert planet Pisana, which is where the festival is.
Which that scene had moments, but there was something wrong about it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it was.
Yeah.
It was, you had this little village, and then they go off to
like the caves and
stuff.
The canyons.
Oh, that's where the worm. Yeah, you said it. The worm thing is what she got this
underground.
Right. But I don't know. Maybe it was the CGI was great.
Yeah.
I don't know if the practical effects were as good as they usually are.
Probably
maybe some
not,
of the aliens didn't look right.
They didn't make as many aliens for this movie because of the shortened production schedule.
And maybe that's what feels off about it.
All that to say, like, the only desktop background that I would consider making off of episode 9 is
Adam Driver.
Well, that too. The few scenes we get of his face since he's rebuilt his mask. But I was going to say, of the Death Star wreckage, like, over the ocean.
Yeah.
That's just pretty cool looking.
Yeah.
But that's really it. Everything else feels claustrophobic or small or just really zoomed in.
Yeah.
Like, even the planet where the rebel base is like in the forest. So it's like there's this constantly trees right
that
everything.
Considering the quick turnaround, the closer the shot, the less CGI, the less everything.
That is true, honestly.
Which affects it visually.
It's true. Two last quick negatives, and this has to do with characters that I think are wasted in this movie.
All of them.
A lot of them, honestly, but some more than others. Number one, the Knights of Ren are so hilariously...
They're just like the lackeys, and then they go against them.
Because here's the thing. They are touted as these mysterious, powerful figures in the Force. Like Kylo Ren's personal guard, yet they're mysteriously absent from the rest of that movie, and they don't even show up in Episode 8. The Rise of Skywalker uses them pretty frequently. Now, apparently, Kylo Ren keeps them in close proximity to himself, now that he's Supreme Leader. But they are portrayed in the most basic and least interesting ways possible. Right? These are 6 elite warriors. They're
goons.
They have their own unique helmets and weapons, and they have names individually. But they are never given more than a few minutes of screen time throughout the film. But here's the hilarious part of it for me. They are generic henchmen. They don't actually show off any particular skills. And the funniest thing about it is, well, first of all, them dying is good, necessary, all that. But the funniest thing about it for me is that the 6 of them literally never split up in this movie. They literally never split up in this movie. They go everywhere as a gang, hunting Rey on Pisana, conducting searches in the streets of Kijimi. It's hilarious to me. They just walk in front of the frame and they just like stand and look around. That's all they do. All together.
All they're missing is like a heavy New York accent. Hey, Kylo, what do you want us to do today?
Yeah.
I apologize to the city of New York for that offensive impression.
Yeah, all they do is the 6 of them
That's true.
together. They're never explained. They don't do anything special.
They're the Knights of the Round Table.
Yeah.
Bad. I guess the Knights of the Round Table were probably bad too, historically speaking.
Yes.
But they didn't have any personality.
They didn't do anything. And also, they're following Kylo Ren around the whole time, trying to find the girl, trying to do all this stuff.
Also, their posture's really weird.
Yes.
Yeah, they're like gremlins. They're like, none of them are like, they don't have, like, the Inquisitors are very,
imposing.
the Inquisitors are very like,
all.
they're like, they kind of have that posture.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. They are weird.
They're really lame in this movie. Here's what's the funny thing about it is that they follow Kylo around all over the place, trying to find Rey and everything. But curiously, they don't follow Kylo to Kef Bir, which is the planet with the Death Star wreckage, where they get in that big fight with Rey. Like, why didn't they go with Kylo to there? It just serves the story.
And there isn't like a scene where Kylo's like, I need to do this alone or something like that. Nothing.
They're just suddenly not present for the one time they're with Rey.
This movie makes no sense.
It's a lot of just head scratchy.
Yeah, that's weird.
Mindless. Last thing is Hux. I do think that it's cool that he's the spy. I think that's fun.
That was the best twist.
Yeah.
To be ruined within moments of the revelation.
Yeah.
The revelation is I am the spy. And everyone going, are you good? And it should have been, yeah, I am. But no, I got some petty stuff that like if Kylo's in charge, then I can't allow that. Yep. So I'm going to do everything I can. And it's like,
think about how sinister and committed to the cause he was in episode 7.
He was freaking Hitler in the first one.
Speech on
that was
the
that
Star
was
Killer base.
Terrifying.
He transforms into like a gag. Like he's a slapstick comedy guy.
Right.
By the end of the series.
And he should have been killed in the second one.
Yep.
Like he should have been force choked to death, and that would have been the end of it.
Imagine if Kylo killed him after he killed Snoke.
That would have been baller.
Yeah.
That would have been crazy.
The same way that Hux almost pulls out a pistol on Kylo when he's knocked out after that fight.
Right.
But Kylo wakes up and they're both like, what happened? What do we do now?
Right.
Like, Kylo could have had the same intuition to say, oh, I could kill Hux right here.
Yeah, why even keep him? Why even keep him? It makes no sense that he's still alive in this one simply because in 7 they have a rivalry.
Yeah.
The rivalry exists.
Yeah.
Why keep him?
No need.
If you're the supreme leader, why keep him?
Yeah.
Why keep someone who wants to be a rival?
Yep.
It becomes a petty thing, and it's like, no, Kylo, you're above petty things.
Yeah. Totally. All right, that's all I've got for the negatives.
That's a little bit of a complaint on The Last Jedi, too, but,
it's true.
Whatever.
That's fair.
All right, my complaints.
All
of those. Palpatine sucks, and not because he's a bad guy, but because he sucks. Okay, so everyone follow me. I am married to a white woman.
Okay.
I'm currently speaking to a very white man.
I just had like 8 slices of Domino's pizza. So if the audience is curious just how white I am.
So, I have an affinity for white. That's a weird thing to say. I'm not going to say that. But my point being, so I am a Mexican American. I'm half white.
Yeah.
There we go. This movie is white man woke. And I hate it. I am for inclusion.
Sure.
I am for representation. I am for more people of color in these great properties. I am for all of that. This movie is white man woke. And what I mean by that, and I'm sorry if I offend anyone, what I mean by that is there is this concept that is occurring where people who are in the echelons of power are like, here, I'm going to help this community out. Here is my handout.
Yeah.
And we should all be thankful that I am giving this handout. So we have this organization, Star Wars, that has been primarily white. Let's just go ahead and say it. Then we have people of color introduced into this. We have Finn, and he meets this beautiful woman, African-American woman, black woman, who was also a stormtrooper. And then he meets this crowd, and it feels like they're mostly people of color, mostly black people. They were all stormtroopers. They were all redeemed bad guys who came. This feels like he was not a soldier, but a prisoner.
Yeah.
And then he meets other reformed prisoners. Yeah. It feels forced. Yeah. It feels like
tokeny.
Yeah. Like it's not a good way of doing it. And I don't know what the best way to do it, but it just feels weird that they fall into this planet and he is starting to feel. Oh, I got a burp. That was gross. Sorry. I might keep that in. So Finn, we have Finn. He is infatuated with Rey on more levels. One, there's an attraction there. There's definitely an attraction there. Two, he's attracted to her. I don't know if she's attracted to him. The signs point to mostly him to her. With that being said, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Because he was essentially saved by her.
Yeah.
So he has that like savior complex to her. And so this movie is him realizing she doesn't feel that way for him.
Right.
Cool. That's fine. But then you have this random planet where the Death Star landed, and then he magically finds a group of people who used to be stormtroopers with this perfectly beautiful black woman to meet this other black guy. And not to say that it just feels forced.
Yeah.
It feels like someone who doesn't understand like the issues of those who are minorities going, this will fix the situation. This will make it better.
Would you say it's similar to the concept of, I remember when episode 9 came out, we knew we were getting Lando back and stuff, and there was this rumor like Finn was Lando's like grandson or something like that.
I think I told you that because of the Lego. The Lego set had it together or something like that. Yeah.
And there was, I think, a justifiable criticism to say this galaxy is so big.
Yeah.
That why are the only two people that are black related?
And I think that falls into that category.
Yeah.
And, you know, Finn can find himself a black partner 100%. Sure. He should.
Right.
It just feels so crazy that this random planet that they had to work real hard to get to magically had this perfect woman who happens to also be black, who happens to also have been a stormtrooper, who happens to also have been reformed and hates the First Order. It feels super weird.
Yeah.
It's like if you had a movie based in the 40s, late 40s, and you have a Jewish man who's in the middle of Oklahoma.
Big Jewish population.
When the time is needed, he finds a beautiful woman who also escaped the Holocaust, who also has the tattoos and all this stuff. And it's like, there's serendipity, whatever it might be, in the scope of the galaxy, the universe, the all-expansive universe. That's friggin' bonkers.
The odds are it should have been some random aliens.
Yeah.
Not even humans. Like, yeah.
Or like, even more so, that storyline should have happened last movie.
Yeah.
It should have happened sooner. And maybe that's what makes it so weird, is that it feels like it's fitted in there.
Yeah, 100%.
It doesn't feel like it's intentional of like, this is where Finn needs to lead.
Right.
It's, well, we have a black character. We should probably get more black characters. Well, he's not going to be with Rey because we in Hollywood don't like interracial relationships, especially between a black man and a white woman. I say that with, tell me a movie where that happens, where there isn't issues.
Right.
Like, this is such, I'm sorry if this feels too woke for some people, but the reality is Hollywood is just as white as it's ever been. And it has issues with things that are normal now.
Sure.
I'm in an interracial marriage. Most of my family is in interracial marriage. Most people I know have some form of interracial marriage. It's not a weird thing. It should never have been a weird thing. It's only been legal in America for like, what, 70 years, 80
decades,
years? Yeah. It's not that long.
Right.
So with that being said, we have this relationship blossoming. Something happens.
Yeah.
There was an unneeded need to make Rey and Kylo romantic. I hate that. If we're talking about the things I hate, I hate that they're romantic.
Yeah.
I hate that it ends with a kiss.
Yeah.
I hate it. Why do I hate it? Because it's not needed.
Or earned.
Oh, that's a good point. Like, it's not earned. There's nothing that builds to it. The reason I hate it so much is because it takes away from the fact that they're doing it for the right reason.
Mm.
They're not doing it for, this is what's right. Kylo isn't doing it because he has seen the good works, the good person that Rey is. Right. No, he just like thinks she's hot.
Right.
That's what the kiss does.
Sure.
Maybe they fell in love. When?
Right.
When?
Yeah, there's no context for that. There's no history.
It's undeserved. And, you know, like, I actually would have been fine with Finn and Rey, maybe. Mm-hmm. But I'm actually better with Rey and no one.
Yeah.
I think Rey should be on her own in the spectrum of it. Sure. Because I think that fits the character. Mm-hmm. She doesn't need anyone because she doesn't know how to be with someone. Right. She's been on her own her entire life. Why start now? And not because of she doesn't deserve. Sure, it's not built into the story.
Yeah.
Why do it? I'm fine with Finn going, oh, she doesn't like me. I need to go find someone else. It's just too forced that it just happens to be that. So that's why I say it's like this. It's a person who doesn't understand the struggles of minorities going, this is how they act.
This will make them feel good.
Yeah. I hate it. I hate it. And that's I'm not going to say that that's where some of the people who have had bad takes have had validity. Mm-hmm. It's the misogyny and racism that exists within the three movies exists for maybe the wrong reasons.
Sure.
Like maybe people are trying, they just don't know. Mm-hmm. They didn't bring people of color in to write.
Right.
They didn't bring people in for opinions. You just have the same people doing it and going, I'm going to write for this person who has a life that I don't understand. I'm going to write for this person that I don't understand.
Yeah.
You know, there was all of that. And then, so you have that aspect. That, because they were doing it maybe with good intentions, it makes all the misogynists and racists kind of right. And that sucks. That sucks. And I hate that.
Yeah.
Because this movie feels like it features it way more.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
there's the kiss at the end.
There's a kiss at the end that, or not even just the kiss at the end.
Super in the background.
You know what?
Yeah.
You know what? Rey should have died.
Sure.
Because here's where I stand on this. So this is, we'll get into why I think Rey is the chosen one and how it works in this story. Within the story that we're given. Mm-hmm. Hold on. We'll make it work.
Yeah.
So within the scope of the movie, we have. Oh, let's go back. In the scope of the three movies, we have this child, this girl who is on her own. Mm-hmm. She is inclined to the Force. Then she is exposed to Jedi. She's exposed to the Force in a knowledgeable way, not just a way that she does stuff, which she should have been doing from the start. Because, Qui-Gon asks Anakin, do you do stuff sometimes that just happens? Rey doesn't have that. We don't see Rey have that experience. Right. She should have, but she doesn't. But anyway, she develops quickly. It is clear that this woman is so in tune with the Force that her ability to communicate with it, to find that symbiotic relationship, is greater than anyone we've seen so far.
Sure.
Even more so than Luke, who was pretty quick about it.
Yeah.
We have The Last Jedi, where the last trained Jedi dies, leaving this new untrained person who has a relationship with the Force not seen before.
Yep.
Then we have her go into this movie. She kills Kylo, gives her life force to him. So now Kylo is balanced. They don't talk about that, but I don't believe you can have the lore of her giving the life force and it not affecting him. It's that thing with I know it's probably like a rumor or not true, but the lore exists of when people have donor body parts and that they feel things that they don't normally feel, and it almost feels like it's the other person.
Oh, weird.
Maybe you could have had, because she gives her life force to him, he now feels her. He now senses her. So his darkness is now being shattered by the light of her light force. And then at the end of the movie, he gives her his life force. Darkness. So now she is endowed with that. Now she is a perfect balance. So she was the chosen one, finding balance at the end of this movie.
Yeah.
How perfect. How freaking great would that have been? And it would have been a simple explanation of when you give your life force to them, you're giving yourself to them.
Sure.
Love
it.
But they leave it out.
Of course.
So my point with that, furthering that, is maybe Kylo is the chosen one. And he needed her life force to do that. So Rey should have died. Rey died. Kylo continues. Kylo works to continue what she was doing. You could have had that.
Sure.
Anything would have been better than the ending we had.
Yeah.
But with that being said, she's balanced.
Yeah.
There's no being in the universe, no Jedi that has ever existed that is balanced in the way that Rey is. And life force wise, she's the most balanced. She literally has the life force of herself. Kylo Ren, she physically has the life force. And she's in tune with thousands of generations of Jedi. Yeah. Who has been more balanced?
Yeah.
You have something new in Rey. And that's why she has to be the chosen one.
Yeah.
And you can even say that she comes from the line that Anakin started.
Yep. Because of Kylo.
Yeah. You can still say that. Anakin is the beginning of that chosen one line of succession.
Yeah. That makes tons of sense.
It would have been great.
Yeah.
Nothing. Not a dang thing. Not a friggin' thing. I hate it. It's so annoying. And then the kiss. There's so much I hate.
Kiss.
I hate that Finn is put in the position that he's in. He plays this wanting boy throughout the whole movie. And then when he sees another strong woman, then he finds himself and he changes and everything. No, he had that his whole time.
Right.
Why make him stuck on Rey? Why make him stuck on her? That it doesn't fit his story. Let him move on. It's okay. Let him move. He fell in love with Rose or whatever.
That's right.
Then that's gone. Hey, here's another thing. Why?
I forgot about that. You're totally right.
He had a thing with Rose. She stopped him from sacrificing himself for the sake of the Resistance, and there was this thing of like, Rose clearly loves Finn,
right?
But Finn is in love with Rey, and we have to go a whole movie with him figuring that out. And then he sees another strong woman and goes, "Oh, I'm not in love with her anymore."
Right.
It's so dumb. Poe was fine. I don't know. Trying to think what else I hate. Man, we have talked so much about what we hated. Maybe just the pacing of the movie. It's hard.
It's fast the whole time.
It's hard. Like, it is a long movie, and there is too much going on, and none of it connects to itself. It's a tough beat. And you know what? Palpatine aside, I don't like the Sith planet. I think it's stupid. I think it's an addition to the world building that was unnecessary. Like, it really, really unnecessary. You didn't need this upside down in space place where, the Emperor just stands in front of thousands of people for, I don't know, 24/7 or however long their days last. Like, it's dumb. I don't know. This movie has so many problems in it.
Yeah. Favorite characters? You got more negativity to spread.
I love Rey. I like Rey that there's never anything that, like, she's the most self-aware character that has ever existed in Star Wars. When she hurts Kylo, she immediately knows. She immediately knows what she's done. She senses Leia. She's so connected that she senses Leia and understands that not only did she, in that moment, kill Kylo, she killed what was left of Leia.
Yeah.
And she hated herself for it.
Well said. Yeah.
And so she fixes it. She sacrifices part of herself to give life back. And there's something really nice about that. Really, really heroic in a way that hasn't really been shown before in Star Wars. Poe's fun.
Yeah.
Poe's fun. I still think they needed to humanize him more.
Yeah.
But I love Oscar Isaac, and I think that he really nailed down that role. And I think him and Rey's bickering is really funny and works. I think it works. I think both of them are leaders in their own right, and that's their butting heads.
Sure.
Finn trying to be the mediator. Finn has so much potential. I just feel he never achieves it. And I hate that. I hate that because we have 3 movies where John Boyega, absolute, just great actor, really fills everything. He's intensely emotional, can really hit that like sternness of waiting. Hits the like funny cues real well. Does so much. He's a great actor, and just thoroughly underused and misused. Misuse is probably the thing we need to describe for him. Not underused. He's used a lot. Misused so much. I think that's it. I like, Mark Hamill's great.
Yeah.
I loved Luke coming back. I thought it was misused.
Sure.
But he's still it's having Luke's always fun.
Sure.
It's always got this weird little attitude behind it that age, brought that to him and everything. But he I enjoy it. But Rey is probably my favorite. How about yourself?
A hard question for episode 9. Not because there are so many characters that are worth considering, but because there are so few worth considering.
And I think it's hard too because like Kylo was great in the other ones, and he has moments, and you like fight for him a bit, But he also has moments where like you're bowing down to Palpatine, and you're just kind of like a boss in a video game right
Yeah.
now. You're not really Kylo.
Yeah. See, so for me, I do feel like you said Episode 9 kind of compromises every major character. Some part of each character's story is weird. I for Episode 9, I'm gonna choose Kylo / Ben again.
Yeah.
He's been my answers for 7, 8, and 9.
But I think that falls under like Adam Driver is so good.
He's just so good.
I'm just thinking about like when Kylo is finding himself with Han.
Yeah. Excellent.
So
and then
emotional and so good.
He plays Ben the rest of the movie, and he's fighting the Knights of Ren. Palpatine is Ben. There's like his stature. Like Adam Driver's actually conveying. There's some Harrison Ford and
right.
Like it's like for me, Kylo Ren is the most compelling character of the sequel trilogy through the entire trilogy. I think he has probably most consistent arc over that trilogy.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna go with Kylo. But again, I don't think there's one character that 9 doesn't kind of compromise some way.
Yeah.
But that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think, like to kind of agree with that, my favorite is Rey, and I think the kiss compromises her because she spends this whole time, all 3 movies, like, I don't need anyone.
Yeah.
And I don't want anyone. She like has an aversion to that.
That's right.
And that's fine. That's good. Let's have that.
Remember how mad she is at Finn at taking her hand?
Right. And then she like just
herself on Kylo.
Like literally.
Yeah.
It's so out of character.
Weird. It's weird, yeah. I don't even dislike the romance of it. It's just not there.
It doesn't fit.
It's just unearned.
Yeah.
Like we said, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Brace yourselves, everyone.
We both looked at the section header at the same time and started laughing.
Was there something you didn't understand about the film, and what was it?
This is the longest section I have written.
All right, brace yourselves, everyone. We might turn this into a 2-parter.
I'm going to try to blast through this as quick as possible. Okay. Number 1. Mustafar. I don't know how many people realize that Mustafar is in this movie. Mustafar is the lava planet with Vader's castle where Obi-Wan and Anakin fight in Episode 3.
Yeah.
That's in Episode 9. But people don't know it. You want to know what Mustafar is in Episode 9?
What?
It's the opening planet where Kylo Ren finds the first Wayfinder, and he's cutting through the cultists and stuff. That's Mustafar.
Really?
Yep.
There is not enough detail for that.
That's my first point. The very opening shots of the movie are Kylo Ren ripping through cultists at the site of Vader's old castle on the planet that was once a lava-filled wasteland and saw Darth Vader's greatest defeat at the hands of his old master. Now, here's what's interesting. There are events that take place between Episodes 3 and 4 that begin to restore life to the planet. It takes place in a video game. It's not really part of any movie story. Basically, this lava-filled death planet redeemed actually by nature. Even if it looked a little sunnier, there's a few more trees around. This is still one of the most iconic locations in all of Star Wars. It's supposed to be literally ruins of Vader's castle. And the movie doesn't show any of that. The movie should have shown the castle knocked over and crumpling and stuff like that. It's only been 30 years. Like, built out of obsidian. It's going to be there.
Well, and then, too, like, there were robots in a warehouse or, like, a manufacturing thing. Like,
the movie
there would have been beings continuing regardless of Vader.
Absolutely. The movie could have so easily established this. First scene of the movie, we're going to... And it's like, there's so much storytelling and world building that can be done.
What if they would have started it? Now hear me out.
Okay.
What if they would have started it with Kylo looking over the area that Vader burned in?
Wow.
And
what are these 2 legs and this arm doing?
No,
here?
not even that. But he's looking upon it. He looks on it. You just see the lava. You just see him.
Yeah.
You have an upshot of him, and you hear, "I hate you.
Oh man,
I hate you." And him just getting angry, and then going to kill the cultists.
Sure.
Or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
oh.
Why don't they do anything?
Anything would have been better than what we got.
That's number 1. Number 2, Finn has a secret that he is repeatedly trying to tell Rey, but the movie never gives him the chance to actually tell her, right?
It's like weird how they do it, because it's essentially like he loves her.
I think the secret is that he's force sensitive.
They suck at doing that then. That is not what...
Yeah.
The whole freaking time. Because there's the whole scene with Poe.
Yeah.
Where Finn, I think, says something to the realm of, like, feelings or whatever. Yeah. And he goes, "That's the secret?"
He's talking about getting led by a sense, or like... So
they do a real bad job.
They just don't explain it.
Yeah.
That's dumb. It's terrible. It also, by the way, it would have solved, if they had even just done that, it would have solved a major other issue. Episode 9, which we've already talked about, which is Rey's parentage. We said how the beauty of Rey's parentage being a nobody is a cool and innovative thing. Now, they take that away and put her under Palpatine, but some amount of redemption could have been like, but Finn is force-sensitive and he's...
Well, also, they already set that up in 8,
right,
with the dumb little kids.
Yeah.
Like, we are aware that kids are force sensitive. People are force sensitive who aren't Jedis or whatever.
Yep.
Like, it can be anyone, and he could have been like, "I think I am."
Yeah.
Cool. But it's not. I didn't get that at all. I did not get that at all.
Yep. Next thing, that Palpatine created Snoke. I think we talked about this. I get that it kind of makes sense given the fact that Snoke could have been a defective clone of Palpatine somehow. But again, this is just so much less interesting than what we would have assumed about Snoke's origins.
Yeah.
Episode.
Yeah. I hated that. Yeah. But it also it was throwaway.
Yeah,
it was throwaway because he had the like bodies of the failed ones
in the tanks and stuff.
It's just like it was throwaway. It was like, okay, instead of this Snoke character, which he could have just said, "I trained him."
Yeah,
he was supposed to follow my plan. He did not.
Right.
He took it for himself.
Yeah.
Wow, that would have been better than I made him.
Yeah. Next one. Crews on all of the Star Destroyers that are created. Who is manning all of these hundreds of secret Star Destroyers? Are there just tens of thousands of trained crew members waiting around piloting these?
That's the assumption. That's what they're inferring.
Sure.
It's dumb.
Yeah.
Which
face palmed yourself with a microphone.
By that logic, can we just mention then there are thousands of First Order soldiers who know where this ancient, powerful Sith planet are?
Unless all the people in this Star Destroyers are not First Order, but they're Sith Eternal. But
also
in which case,
dumb.
Like,
we're just going to send these people who have been on this planet forever, who apparently are supposed to always be on this planet,
I guess.
By their own logic, we're just going to send them on a ship. And they know how to fly a ship?
And they know, I don't know. Next one. This is just funny. This isn't like a problem per se, but the fact that Palpatine's big old fleet called the Final Order, to me is kind of hilarious. I don't know why the dude cares about paying homage to the First Order at all. If it had mixed
because it's still his.
But
it's stupid, but that's what the logic is, because he created Snoke. Snoke was the leader of the First Order. So, if so facto, Palpatine is in control of the First Order. So the First Order is his thing. But it doesn't make sense if he is trying to rebuild the Empire. Why it's not just the Empire again.
Why it's not the new Empire.
Yeah.
It'd be cool.
The final Empire.
The second galactic empire.
Yeah. The last one. The only one that can exist, because it will be eternal. Something.
Final Order just sounds branded.
Yeah. It also sounds desperate.
Yeah. Next one. This is funny. On Pisana, when they're getting chased by the stormtroopers with like the jetpacks, Finn and Poe are yelling at each other. They fly now. Like Mandalorians have been flying around with their jetpacks for thousands of years. And
who says that line?
Finn and Poe are going.
No. I know, but who says it?
Poe.
Yeah, Finn would have known that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because jetpacks aren't new.
They're not new at all. Mandalorian's been using them for thousands of years.
Yeah.
And
but even so, like
First Order, super technically advanced.
Yeah.
In fact, honestly, if you think about it, like for them not to have been prepared for, getting attacked by stormtroopers with jetpacks should be considered like an oversight on their side.
Like it's a joke at the cost of, like, a lot of logic.
Yes, absolutely. In all reality, they should have some kind of flying technology themselves. Next one.
They had a space station that could destroy a planet, and a jetpack was like, ooh.
What? Next one, with force healing. In episode 9, using force healing like on the snake or on a couple of people, it requires transferring force energy out of the giver, making them weaker in the process, even maybe process. This is convenient for the story of episode 9, but I'm certainly not the first person to note this. But in all of their previous Star Wars property that deal with force healing abilities, books and games and comics, etc., force heal has universally worked without draining the giver of any vitality. So it's basically just the creation of energy, not harming. So that's just like not continuity.
You've already they had to retcon.
They had to
the healing to fit their narrative of it,
and they've had to retcon like a ton of canonical material. The next one, when the Millennium Falcon crashes on Kef Bir, which is the Death Star planet, something really hilarious about that. Why did they crash? The ship is in good health, and Poe is piloting it. There's no reason. There's no logical reason.
Didn't they get hit by something?
No. Nope. They just flew there. Why did the Millennium Falcon have to crash land onto that planet? Now, the story need a reason. Fix it. They can't take the Millennium Falcon to hop over to the Death Star over the water. Like
they could have literally said the landing gear got stuck.
Sure.
Anything. And it was. When it happened, it was too quick.
Yep.
And they landed before the landing gear came out.
Yeah.
Anything.
Nothing.
Actually, no. That wouldn't have worked.
Why not?
Because how the Millennium Falcon lands, it lands vertically.
Correct.
It doesn't land like a regular plane.
That's right.
So they have no reason to crash.
No reason.
Even if the landing gear didn't work.
That's right. They could just on the belly.
Yeah. It would still cause maybe some damage.
Sure.
But they wouldn't have had to crash.
I wonder if they'd be able to get out of it because, like, the door opens from the bottom, like the runway.
That could have been a good shot where it was like landed and then the door opens and the ship goes like that.
The ship like tilts
up.
See, but even that would be a problem the way that they did land it. Like, it just doesn't make any
Oversight.
Yeah. Similarly, the reveal. So like they walk over the hill to like the cliff to like see the Death Star. They would have seen that coming.
It's a mountain.
It's huge.
Yeah.
It's massive. So anyway, it's silly. Okay, the next one. I'm like laughing as I read like each new one that I find. I'm over halfway through these. These are going quick. The C-3PO's message from the Sith dagger says the words "Only this blade tells," where the location of the holocron, all that kind of stuff. It's literally pointing to the Emperor's throne room, the one and only crashed Death Star.
Yeah,
I'll put it this way: it's probably not a secret that there's some pretty sick Sith memorabilia up in there.
Yeah,
it doesn't make
the
sense.
fact that that's not the first place they look.
Why aren't they looking? Right? Who hasn't been? Have scavengers not gotten to that place in 30 years?
Yeah.
Only this blade tells.
Well, especially when the people on the planet were like, you have to wait until the waves go down because you can't cross.
They've been there.
Yeah.
Next one. There is a little bit of a continuity oversight towards the end of the movie. Luke raises up his X-wing, Rey to fly off of the island and go to Exegol, but a kind of a funny little Easter egg from Episode 8. Luke uses a wing, or at least part of a wing off of that X-wing as the door to his hut. And so the question is Rey flying like without a big chunk of her wing, or did they put the door from Luke's hut back onto the X-wing in order for her to fly? All right, next one. The navigation beacons. We mentioned the navigation beacons earlier, but the Resistance's mission on Exegol has them trying to destroy navigation beacons that are on the ground. And the plan that they draw up is for them to provide cover fire so that a ground assault can make an actual landing on the surface of the navigation beacon to disable them. My question is this: why can't the Resistance ships just shoot at and strafe the navigation towers to destroy them?
Magic.
A ground assault takes a lot more time, leaves a lot more troops extremely vulnerable.
The last two Star Wars movies have had non-issues as the main cusp of the problems at hand. Yeah. Like the ship being able to stay right out of the range of the other ship's bullets or whatever. Right. That's a dumb excuse. Having to do a ground assault.
You can just shoot the thing.
When you have a pilot who literally fit in 20-foot slit in a building, flew around in an impossibly narrow area, destroyed it, and flew out, that's your pilot.
It's not even
that's your main guy. Yeah.
Honestly, the towers themselves, again, are another kind of MacGuffin. Right. Next one. Another oversight a little bit in terms of the possibilities within the story. I don't know how Ben is able to get an old Imperial TIE fighter, crashed Death Star, all the way to Exegol. For two reasons for that. Number one, doesn't have the Wayfinder with him from his other TIE fighter.
He's real smart. He remembered it. He remembered it.
Let's give in that he remembers it. Second reason is that the Empire, back in that war, did not equip those models of TIE fighters with hyperdrives.
Yeah, that's the big one.
It's possible. Here's the seeming possibility. It's possible that he found an Imperial freighter on the Death Star that had a TIE fighter on board. I don't know, but that's literally the only explanation.
Twin ion engine. TIE.
Yeah.
Just in case you didn't know. We haven't said that this whole time.
Three more quick ones. These are going quick. Lando. How could Lando recruit all of the folks from across the galaxy in a matter of like a few minutes, apparently, to fight on Exegol if Leia in Episode 8 sent out a signal from Crate, and it fell on deaf ears, and nobody came to their rescue. Why is Lando suddenly
sexism?
Leia, probably yes. But why is it? And also, did Lando like hyperspace around to like planet after planet after planet after planet, saying, "Hey, come with me, come with me, come with me, come with me"?
He actually had Doctor Strange help him. Yeah, he just opened up portals.
That would have been convenient.
Yeah,
I would love how quick how quick did he get with each of his little speeches?
Yeah, and there were a lot of ships.
A lot of ships. And he had to navigate each of them through the maw.
Yeah,
like, that's crazy. Next one, killing Palpatine. If Rey killing Palpatine would cause his spirit to enter her body, why doesn't killing him end up doing that at the end of the movie? Is the difference that he's lightning,
considering the fact
reflected back at him?
Considering the fact that she dies right away.
Yeah.
So she is an empty vessel.
Okay.
Why does he not enter in?
I don't know. And then
maybe the only thing I could say is maybe when he does that, he the energy he would have had to transfer his consciousness vaporized.
Sure.
Or whatever.
Sure. Something like that.
But nah, it's bad.
Doesn't matter. Last one I have for this section is BB-8 getting rescued at the end. It's another silly continuity error. But if you remember, BB-8 was part of the ground assault that landed on the wing of that Star Destroyer. But they eventually get the Star Destroyer to fire on itself. It blows up and it starts falling to the ground. As they're falling, the Millennium Falcon is shown saving Finn and a couple other Resistance fighters off of the falling ship. But BB-8 is nowhere to be seen.
Janna
is on there as well, yeah.
I didn't say her name before because I'm bad with names, but Janna.
Sure. Janna, yeah. Anyway, BB-8 is literally not shown getting saved by the Millennium Falcon, but he shows up later on the Millennium Falcon.
Shoot.
They should have just forgot to include him in that little shot. Oh well.
It was too expensive.
The CGI wasn't there. That's all I've got for things that I didn't understand. I'm sure there are more that I just didn't write down. Mike, how about you?
The whole movie. The whole kit and caboodle. It doesn't make a lick of sense. I can't.
I love that I dove into each of these little details, and you're just like the whole dang thing, man.
The beginning, the middle, the end, the climax, the problem, the protagonist, the antagonist.
Yeah,
none of it. It doesn't. Nothing, man. Palpatine doesn't make any sense. Palpatine's kid doesn't make any sense.
Palpatine's kid doesn't make any sense.
Grandkid doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
The way that they finally tie in how her family got away doesn't really make sense. They pick a random ship to be the ship that leaves, but it's so you got this box ship or whatever.
Yeah.
And that happens to be an Imperial ship.
Yeah.
Even though we have seen literally years of Imperial ships and nothing that remotely looks like that.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I feel like a lot of the things we've said is corrections that things they could have corrected, could have just. Oh, you know what I also don't understand? Hear me out on this. Why is it so long?
Yeah.
What a slog, man.
It is second. It's either the second or third longest.
So long.
Yeah, in the saga.
And it doesn't need to be that long. It is too long.
Too much going on.
All right. That's all I really got. I don't have anything.
All good.
It's.
Yeah. I get you. It's the whole thing in many ways.
All right. Do you have anything to add?
Nope.
All right. With that, now it is time for the Review Rewind. We look at critic reviews when this movie was released. Joseph will read the paid positive review. And I will read the negative review, and we'll see where we personally fall.
Okay. The first one comes from The Guardian. Author's name is Jordan Hoffman. He has given Rise of Skywalker a 100 out of 100.
Which is gotta be paid. Because that is...
Yeah.
Even if you like the movie,
I don't see
that
how you
is
can give it
too much.
A perfect score.
That is crazy.
The only way this is redeemable, Mr. Hoffman, is if you've given every other Star Wars movies also a 100.
Read the review, and then you're gonna get mad.
Okay, I'm so excited. Here I go. First time I'm laying eyes on this. The movie snaps together like a jigsaw puzzle.
What a joke. What an absolute joke. We have just spent 2 hours in great detail of how this movie does not snap together like a jigsaw puzzle.
Okay.
It snaps together like a bunch of boxes and someone going, there, it's a jigsaw puzzle. Like, it can't.
Oh, man. Okay, the movie snaps together like a jigsaw puzzle, a series of concluding beats that seem inevitable and perfect and designed to please all parties so long as you don't dwell on the logic too much.
Screw you.
Why is it 100 then?
You idiot.
There should be room for me to dwell on the logic if it's going to be a 100.
Let's go ahead and just stop for a second.
Yeah.
A series of concluding beats that seems inevitable and perfect.
No.
And designed to please all parties so long as you don't dwell on the logic too much. If you dwell on the logic too much and you find holes on it, then it is not inevitable, it is not perfect, and it is not designed to please all parties. So the biggest word carrying the most weight is seem. So he's saying that I'm giving this movie, he or she, Jordan, whoever you are saying that you are putting... Oh, man, this is... oh, gosh. You are giving this 100, knowing full well that it doesn't make sense if you apply maybe just even a little bit of logic.
I just clicked to read the full review, and the opening line is this. It says, the story isn't perfect. The reanimated Leia is weird, and the Emperor is a pantomime villain. But who cares when you're skipping along at light speed?
This person had to have been paid.
I don't understand that.
Not just their job, because they work for The Guardian, but Disney had to have paid them. Because that is the most insincere statements.
The article notes that J.J. Abrams is truly George Lucas's Padawan.
Ew, no. No. Absolutely not.
That's
ugly.
It's written.
That's ugly.
Like, just skimming through the article, it feels like these paragraphs and sentences are leading up to like an 80 out of 100. Because he says it's not perfect. This is weird. You know, some things don't work, etc. Where does the 100? Where does like landing on 100?
This is a college professor who clearly got an essay turned in with a $50 bill in it.
There it is.
Looking at it, marking all the errors, and then going A+.
Oh my gosh!
All right.
Take the negative.
This is from Vox by Alyssa Wilkinson.
Mm-hmm.
The Rise of Skywalker falls somewhere between an overstuffed fan service finale and a yawn fest. If The Force Awakens kicked off the new cycle in the franchise and The Last Jedi set it up to push beyond its familiar patterns, The Rise of Skywalker, for the most part, runs screaming in the other direction.
That's kind of perfect.
Oh my gosh, that is spot on.
Yeah. Full article title, clicking in the full review, the full title of this article is The Rise of Skywalker is what happens when a franchise gives up. Yeah.
Agreed. I agree. Actually, that is spot on.
Some headlines within this article. The new movie is a colossal failure of imagination. The Rise of Skywalker is a masterclass in capitulation. It has nothing new to say, and it seems proud of that fact.
Preach.
Wow.
Preach. Get him. Get him.
Wow.
Get him, Alyssa. Get him.
Crazy. So there you go.
That's bonkers.
What are you going to rate this movie, Mike?
F.
Is it just a solid F?
F.
Okay.
It is F. It's a weird F. And I'll say this. It's like it's a garbage essay that has one sentence that is iconic. Like, you read that sentence and you're like, that is a life-changing sentence. And then everything surrounding it is garbage. It just, like, 3 paragraphs are just the same paragraph. And they're like, I'm just trying to get some stuff here.
Yeah.
They cite Wikipedia. Like, they spell things wrong.
Yeah.
They forget their point and their conclusion ends up contradicting what their thesis is.
Yeah. But there's one sentence in there.
There's one sentence. Like, so when you're given that F, you're like, how do I give it? Can I give it a plus?
Yeah.
Can I make it an F plus?
There's one sentence that Oscar Wilde himself wrote, but then the rest of it.
No, there's one sentence that Oscar Wilde would have been like, ooh, I need to use that.
Yeah.
And then the rest of it is 2 monkeys on a typewriter.
Sure.
It's it's rough.
Oof. Okay, hear me out.
All right.
The big fundamental question for me, as I think about this rating, is whether or not I can give this movie, and thus give any Star Wars movie, an F. I can't do that. But
you're wrong. But
I'll explain. Hear me out. I'm going to give Episode 9 a D-. Close as I can get to an F, but not an F.
That, you know why?
Why?
Because you don't want to have this student in your class next year.
No,
that's why. That's why it's a D-.
That's not even why. Here's the reason. Okay, number one, there are still. Well, no. There's one reason. The movie could have been worse. The movie could have been worse.
Would have
been a lot dumber. It would have been a lot
That's a hard sell.
Really stupid ways.
That's a hard.
But the movie just literally
everything could have been worse.
I know.
What is it? The Room? Is that it?
Yeah.
That could have been worse.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that doesn't mean it's good.
Does that mean that every movie is a D-?
Exactly.
I see your point. Yeah. But there you go. I'll let me at least hang it on this. The movie making quality is great. CGI and the action, the choreography, most of the soundtrack and music. I'm going to sneeze. You can leave that in if you want to. That stuff's great. It's not an F. If the CGI was terrible, if they didn't bring back John Williams, if they just, I don't know. There are many ways that they could have really
But see, I can't. It's your opinion. You can have that opinion. I don't agree with the logic.
Sure.
Because it's like if they didn't bring back John Williams, but they just took John Williams and they sat him down.
Yeah.
So it's almost like he's not there at all.
Sure.
It's like,
that's fair.
Hey, you wrote this history lesson. You wrote this history paper, and you did quote John Adams. You just happened to quote his worst quote ever.
Sure.
But you did quote him.
But you did.
Like that. That's what that means to me.
Got you.
I just you do you. Don't try to justify it. Just give it a D-. I do not agree.
Okay.
With just give it a D-.
That's fair.
This movie sucks.
I will.
It freaking sucks.
It does.
I came in here thinking, man, I liked it more. that sentence in the middle of the essay really got me. It really got me because I ended that movie and I was like, man, why was I so mad? You know?
And then you talked to me about
it. And then I started talking to you and I was like, oh yeah, that's why I was mad. This stupid movie. It's so bad.
Yeah.
It is that thing. It's like a brand new car that has no engine.
Sure.
It's like, it's nice to look at. If you had it parked in your driveway, people would be like, that's a nice car. But then when you try to turn the key, you're like, nothing. Not a freaking thing inside. Yep. This movie is empty.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why it's so enraging. Because, one, it has just the joy and the nostalgia of Star Wars embedded into it automatically, undeservedly.
Sure.
And
do anything
doesn't do
it.
anything. Doesn't do anything. And then not only that like fake wokeness where it's trying to pontificate to everyone and give this like almost like mightier than thou,
but though, yeah.
And it just fails.
Sure.
Like it fails to do a good message. It fails to follow the path that has been dug out for it.
Right.
It fails to add anything. It fails in every aspect. It just looks pretty.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what's... And it has characters that we know and love. And...
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yep.
I hate this movie. I hate this movie so much.
Okay.
But it's still a Star Wars movie, and that's what I friggin' hate.
Yeah.
It still has the Star Wars ticks to it. Gosh.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I'm so angry, because it's still a Star Wars movie. It just sucks.
Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. That's the Rise of Skywalker.
Well, if you enjoyed that movie, I'm sorry that you had to go through this almost 3 hours or over 3 hours of hating on this movie.
Yeah.
We will be back next week with our final bonus episode where we will recap our rankings.
Yeah.
And we're also going to get a synopsis on...
Yeah, the episode 9 that was originally meant to be directed by Colin Trevorrow. It's called episode 9, Duel of the Fates.
So that will come out next week.
If you have the minutes on your podcast hosting
I
service.
will.
Okay.
I will. Until then, I just freaking hate this movie so much. Joseph, why? Why did we do this to ourselves? Everything was great until we got to this movie.
I know.
This movie freaking sucks. All right, bye everyone. I hate my life right now. Gosh, bye.